Hello, hello. It's me. I'm still alive. I'm actually live. Hi. Good evening. Oh my god, it's actually working, and I'm not even using my VPN. Ow. It's working, which is cool. Oops. There we go. Streaming is live. Yeah. We haven't seen each other in a week, which was not my intent. What the fuck? Okay, no, it's just a red pen. Okay. Hi, welcome. Thank you. I hope this stream will survive, because like I was this close to having to revert back to being a PNG tuber. Not that I ever actually was one, but like I'm just glad I'm moving, but my phone is like it's dying. But hey, as long as it's working, I'm gonna make the most of it. Really quick before we jump into this game. One thing about this one is, like, I read the bad endings for the other one, or like I didn't completely read them. I pretty much just skipped through them. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But for this one, we need to read them because the wizard, for some reason, has a role in the bad endings of Snow White, and we need to read those before we can actually unlock his route. So I guess I'm breaking the no bad endings on stream for this game. This is just advanced moving PNG, yeah. That's true. This one is just advanced moving. Also, another thing, just in case any of you worried, I'm not putting Toturi completely off, but Great Ace Attorney released yesterday, and I am at the edge of my seat seeing everyone play it, and I really want to get in on that and also play it. So I'm putting Toturi on the back burner while I figure out if I can even make it to something that is not the normal ending, you know? And while I do that, which will basically just consist of me trying to frantically make money off screen, we're going to play Great Ace Attorney. Not quite sure yet how I will manage to straight up read for like 6 hours or more, but I want to play these games real badly because I've been waiting for them for a very long time. But we will see. For now, we're going to go... Well, we're not going straight into Snow White's story because first we will have the prologue. As always. Hold up. I forgot to change. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. There we go. I had to remake all of my OBS settings again. So if anything is not working correctly, Oh, yeah. My pronouns are not on screen. That's fine. If anything's not working correctly, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the 5th time in like the past few months that I had to remake everything for one reason or the other, and it's getting on my nerves. Hello, how are you doing? I'm good. I can finally stream again. I hope you are good as well. Suddenly you find yourself lost in a world of darkness. Where am I? I keep walking and walking, but I can't seem to find a single exit. It's so dark I can't see a thing. I can't even tell how far I've walked or how much time has passed. No matter where you go, the scenery around you remains static and unchanging. It's like the darkness has consumed everything, all sense of direction, even the very concept of time itself. Were you to stand perfectly still and hold your breath, the only sound would be that of your own heartbeat. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Woo! No, don't go breaking on me. I need you to stream, please. Thanks. What am I doing here? Who am I? You can't remember a thing, not even your own name. Can't remember anything. Alone in the dark, fear and loneliness overwhelms you. Hello? Is anyone there? If you're there, say something, please. No one's here. Was I always alone or did I lose someone along the way? I don't know anything. You soon grow tired of walking, but something spurs you forward in spite of yourself. Maybe I find something just up ahead. Your moral is in tatters and your legs are threatening to give out, but you press on regardless. And then we get numbed by the darkness again. Out of nowhere, something seizes you by the leg, threatening to pull you down into its inky depth. Is this an RPG Maker game? Nope. It's classic old visual novel. Well, it's not that old. It's a classic visual novel. You struggle with all of your mind, refusing to let the shadow swallow you up. Someone help! Oh! Oh, he's actually helping us this time? Huh? Okay. Oh, this is different. This actually is different. Holy fuck. So he's not gonna call us a dumbass the first few seconds in? Do you think we're safe here? Are you good? Are you okay? You're as white as a sheet. Oh no, but that's a new sprite for him, that's cool. It's not good that he's almost dying, but oh god, are you dying? I'd better give you mouth to mouth. There it is! Woo! Ow! But this time it actually took more than 3 text boxes. Jeez, don't hit me, I was just joking. Who coughs like that? Are you sure you're okay? Maybe you should have shouted at me if you're already out of breath. You caused the insult with a joke. Yeah! I love getting on his nerves. He's always a little silly, not gonna lie. It is. He's a silly bolt. He's a silly boy. It's my fault, I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks. Good point. Thank you very much for saving me from imminent danger. Without you, who knows what would have happened to me. What's with that look you're giving me? Being thanked gives you goosebumps. You wanted me to thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for rescuing me. I'm so grateful. This is refreshing. This is way different from the other ones. Okay.
せっかく助けた恩人に向かって嫌味を言うなんて。
Okay.
君は礼儀知らずかつ失礼かつ野蛮かつ無遠慮で生意気で身勝手でわがままで本当に性格が悪いな。ここまでコンボをつながれると一層すがすがしいぞ。
I also have the very impressive ability to let this go in one ear and out the other. Oh, that reminds me actually.
おまけに人の話を聞かないしな。フルコンボ達成おめでとうございます。で、なんだここがどこか僕は誰かだって教えてやらんと言いたいところだが、君の場合面倒なことに
He's going through this quickly.
しょうがないから答えてやろう。
I don't actually remember anything aside from the name Alice.
僕の名前はアリスで、どこがどこか僕もわからん。以上だ。満足か。
Your name is Alice?
ああ、そうだ。
Are you sure? I'm surprised you knew what I was going to ask.
そりゃあな、わかるさ。
Well, what?
僕が名乗ってやったのだから。
Oh, I don't remember my name. I am amnesiac. I am an amnesiac. Bleh. Thank you.
わあ、どういたしまして。はい、握手。
って君はバカか。人が名乗ったのなら
どういたし
名乗り
まして
返すのが通礼儀だろうが。
Oh, you want my name?
どうした？まさか自分の名前を忘
I
れたとで
don't
も言うんじ
remember
ゃな
my
いか。
name. そうだよ。
何笑顔でうなずいてるんだ。バカじゃないのか。自分の名前を覚えていないだなんて大問題だろ。バカを通り越して頭に脳みそが詰まってるのか疑うレベルだぞ。
I do.
一度君の頭を振ってやろうか。君の場合カラコロカラコロ、そりゃいい音が鳴るんだろうな。
Do you know who I am, Alice?
はあ、君のことなんて知るわけないだろ。
Maybe we've met each other before. Well, why did you rescue me then?
どうしてって。そりゃ
Because.
僕が心優しい人間だから決まってるだろ。
Thank you so much for the
困っ
gifted
てる人を見捨て
sub.
ておけない。慈愛と博愛精神あふれるノーベル平和賞受賞を待ったなしの素晴らしい存在なんだ。
Didn't realize the sound for that was this loud. Jesus. I see. Well, thanks again, Alice.
君はこんな状況だというのに頭がハッピーだな。
I don't know why that is so
い
loud.
や、アメーバやゾウリムシだって現状について思い悩むだろう。
How do I? Yeah. I can turn them down a little more, I think. Okay. Great. No, wait. This is what I hate about. This is what I hate about reinstalling OBS, because I always forget to do something, and I guess in this case it was the sounds. You think so?
ちなみに褒めてないからな。けなしてるんだからな。
I don't know who Jane
ど
Doe
う
is
するんだ
supposed to
七種の
be.
ゴンベ。
Like, he called us that some time ago as well, I think in the first one, but I don't know who that is supposed to be, so I don't see what he's trying to reference. Going on and where?
君は本当に能天気だな。もう少し現状に対して悲観するとか不安になるとかいろいろあるだ
But
ろ。
we're not alone, and we've been through this 2 times
君は自
already.
分の名前もわからないんだろ。ここがどっかわからないんだろ。それについ
So
て
it
何も思わな
can't
い
be
の
that
か。
bad. Well, sure, it's pretty scary waking up in a pitch black world with no recollection of who I am or what I'm doing here. I'm just a delicate flower, you know.
胸が押しつぶされる。
なんでよ。
I got the feeling you were thinking something rude about me.
このド S!
Now then, back on topic. Yes, I was scared that I'd be stuck here all alone forever. And when a thing attacked me, I was terrified I would disappear. But then I found you, Alice.
僕に会えたから何も心配はないと。
Not quite. I just know that as long as I'm with you, I have nothing to fear.
そうですか。
So tell me, you remember who you are, right? Unlike me?
なぜそう思う？
Because you have such a wonderful name.
素敵か？
Yeah.
やれやれ。
I mean, it is a
それ
nice
バカだ。
name.
名乗ったからといってそれが本当の名前とは限らないだろ
But it's not necessarily his. So it's a fake name.
う。ああ、そうかもな。
A bit of a vague answer, don't you think?
そりゃそうだろ。僕も君と同
He's
じな
like,
のだ。
we're actually in the same boat, but I'm going to act like I'm so much better than you, as always. Wait, so...
鈍いな。つまり、僕も何も覚えていないと言っているんだ。
Yeah, I have to... Thanks for the bits! I do have bits alerts, but it's just the classic ones. Because I don't know how to change these. Okay. I still really
め
loud,
ちゃくちゃ薄い
huh?
反応だな。こんな重大かつ重要なことをさらっと流してどうする？
I wonder... How can I turn these down more? Hmm? I already put them at... Oops. Okay. I think I broke something just now. Oh my god, you have amnesia?
わざとらしい反応をどうもありがとうございます。
どうもどうもアリスゆりかです。ゆりかのアリスでいいです。
Okay, well, why did you introduce yourself as Alice then? Isn't that normally a girl's name anyway?
君は普通ではない状況下に置かれて普通を求めるのか。そんなの僕がアリスという名前を覚えていたからに決まっているだろう。まあ果たしてアリスという名前が僕の名前なのか他の誰かのものなのかそんなことはどうだっていい。そしてアリス、君がアリスという名前であるという可能性もミジンコ程度にはあるというわけだ。
The hiragana and the katakana Alice. You want me to be Alice?
ああ、ひらがなの方のな。不服なら七七さんでも匿名希望さんでもそれがしさんでも読み人知らずでも構わんぞ。
No, I like Arisu. From here on, I'm your new friend Arisu.
僕は君とよろしくしたくはないのだがな。
Hehe, no need to be so shy, silly. You saved my life and that means we're friends now.
別に照れてないし遠慮もしてない。勝手にツンデレとかいう変な設定をつけるのはやめてくれ。虫ずが走る。大体なぜ助けられた側が地味に上から目線なんだ。
Oh great, a merciful save! Yeah, why did that
こちらこそ
leg?
よろしくお願いいたしま
Please
す。
bestow upon this worthless worm your priceless friendship.
なんて展開になるとでも思っているのか？
I mean, I can try. そうだよ。
頭がゆるい。
I'm not! If it turns out I really am Arisu, then maybe that means you and I were friends before we lost our memories.
さあ、どうだろうな。
I'm betting money on that. So tell me, Alice, what's your next move?
どうするもこうするも別にどうするつもりもない。
You don't want to try to get out of here?
思わない。
How come?
逆に聞くがアリス。君はここから出
I'd
られ
like
る
you
と
know
思う
who, know what you actually know.
ここがどこかよく分かっていないというとね。
Who are you? You know. No, I don't know. Just because we don't know where we are doesn't mean we can't find a way out.
君はここから出たいのか？
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's so empty and dark. I may not have my memories, but I can tell I'm not meant to stay here.
得体の知れない何かに襲われてたしな。
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I really feel like I wrote this script, but I did not. Come on, Alice, why don't you come with me? As long as we're together, I'm sure we make it.
大丈夫って。
Make it out of here.
なら君一人で出口を探せばいいだろう。僕を巻き込む
You really don't want to escape?
な。なあ、そうだ。
Why not? You don't know what this place is either. Doesn't that frighten you?
ああ、そうだ。
Also. But
それに僕はここがどこなのかわからないと言って
Oh.
推測することくらい
oh,
は
right.
できる
It's
ぞ。
the thing about this being a dream, right? And what's that?
僕はこの世界は夢だと思っている。この世界がどこかはわからない。だが本能的に本質的にこの世界は現実ではないということはわかる。夢ならばありとあらゆる不可解な出来事も別にありえないことではないからな。
This is not how it's supposed to be. Hi. I'm slowly coming closer to the screen. Hello? So this empty black void is a dream?
おかしいか
No, it's not absurd. It just strikes me as a really boring dream, that's all.
人事のように言うんだなその夢を見ているのが自分かもしれない
No, actually I'm betting real... I would bet real money that it's his dream.
ちなみに
Ow!
これが夢か現実かを確かめようとして頬をつねるだなんて古典的かつベタなことをしないでくれたまえよこれが夢なら君が感じているだろう痛みも脳が勝手に作り出したイメージかもしれないしな
Fine.
わかればよろしい
So if this is my dream, does that mean you're just some fictional character my brain created?
逆も言えるのだがな僕にとっては君が理不尽で不可解で不快な夢の中のキャラクターだこれが
Maybe
夢
the
なら
real
悪夢
friends
だ
were
悪
the...
夢
No, wait. Maybe the real friends were the
果たして
dreams we made along the
夢を見てい
way.
るのは
No,
どちらな
maybe
の
the
か
real dreams were the friends we made
君か
along the way.
それ
Ah,
とも
whatever.
僕か
I guess whoever doesn't wake up will disappear.
ああそうだとにかくだこれで分かっただろこれが夢なら何をしたって意味はないなんせこれは夢なのだからな
So you're scared?
は
Well, that would explain why you don't want to leave, right? If this world truly is a dream, then by choosing to stay here, you're choosing not to wake up, right? It's okay.
おいこの手は何だ突然手をつないだりなんかして説教で訴えるぞ
おまわりさんここに兵士者がいます
Unconsensual hand holding! Even if this world is a dream and one of it disappears, I'll never let go. Now let's get going.
さっきから根拠のない発言をポンポンと繰り出すな君の発言はポップコーンみたいに軽いんだよ
I admit I don't have anything that can give credence to my claims, but the same goes for you. We both have amnesia.
君は僕の言葉を嘘だと言っているのか
Oh yeah, actually, I finally looked up all the plot and the video material for the new Blue Reflection, and for some reason everyone in that game has amnesia. You have like 4 girls, like one is the protagonist and 3 others, and they all have amnesia. So they're trying to find out what happened. That's the plot of your game, of the new Blue Reflection game. They all have amnesia. I'm saying we're in the same boat and I want to believe in you.
まったく君は甘いなまるでキャラメルみたいだ
Caramel syrup was good though. So what you're saying is you want us to stick together?
ああそうだよくわかっているじゃないかどうせこの先僕が何を言おうが
I
この
really
手を
like
離す気はない
Yurika.
んだろ
Well, I promised I wouldn't, didn't I?
してない
Still not. Still not, he says, but then he walked hand in hand with me.
Hand in hand you wander through the darkness. Moments earlier you were overwhelmed with fear, but now the warmth of his hand reassures you.
だいたい君は大丈夫というが
Amnesia
大
the
丈夫じゃ
game.
なかったら
Wait.
どうするつもりだ
There's at least 2 other amnesia games out there. I've actually played both of them. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it.
うーわ最悪最低な答えだな実に無責任かつ身勝手な君らしい発言だ
And yet here you are tagging along with me anyway. You're such a good person.
Such a good boy.
You've played one but not the other. Which one have you played? The Otoma one? I think we talked about the Otoma one
キャラメル
before.
ポップコーンは嫌いじゃないから
I've never had caramel popcorn. The Otoma game, yeah. And so the friendly conversation continues. No ground to walk on, no concept of time, no one else in sight, and yet with Alice at your side, you don't miss any of it. You walk and walk and walk until there appears before you a giant-looking glass. Whoa, what is that thing?
鏡だな
It is?
ああ一見するとバカでかい水晶だがよく見ると僕たちの姿が映っている
Sugoi! The question is it a mirror by intention or by chance?
どちらにせよ同じだろう自らの姿形を映し出すということではな
Wait, that's so sparkly here in the dark. Is it glowing or is light shining onto it from somewhere?
それを言うなら僕たちの姿が見えているのも不自然だろ
Oh, good point. I didn't think of that.
気づくのが遅い君はおっちょこちょいか天然ボケかどちらにせよバカで変人でぶりっ子でかまどということには変わりないがな
Posture check, okay.
Maybe it's bioluminescence. Is that the word I'm thinking of?
ああ、そうだな。深海のギャング、蓬莱エソみたい
Right,
な
right.
も
You
の
haven't
だ。
finished yet, Amnesia. No, I have not. No, that was like when I was like 12 or something. That was like several PCs ago, and I tried to play it with a friend. Like she was on the keyboard and I was on the mouse, but we weren't able to go anywhere because I always, turned us around. And she was like, "Please, the monsters are not even showing up yet. Just walk straight." And I'm just like, "No, no." And that's my experience with Amnesia, the horror game. But humans don't have photophores, at least that I know of. Photophores? Okay.
ボケ殺しのマシです。
Sorry, I'm not smart enough for this game. You're welcome! I wonder how it works. Oh, but if this is a dream, then anything is possible, so I guess it doesn't matter. Say, do you think this mirror is a gateway to another world? I mean, you see it all the time in fiction, right? Passing through the mirror into a different realm.
さあな。気になるのなら確かめてみればいいだろう。
Mm.
まかり間違っても僕を巻き込むなよ。
Boo.
無資料で無謀で無計画な君のことだ。何の考えもなしに。
えい飛び込んじゃえ
とか
えい
なんとか言って
飛び込んじゃえ
突撃する気だろ。おいおいおい、勘弁してくれたまえ。
Let's fucking go! Yeah, if I screw up here, both of us will pay the price.
なあ、いろんな意味でな。
If there really is a world beyond the looking glass, what do you think it's like?
そっくり同じ。ただ、何もかもが逆さまなんじゃないのか。
Then it must be a fun place with lots of people.
黒の反対は白か。
Well, I mean, technically. その通り。
君は実にめでたい頭の持ち主だな。ま、その単純短絡簡単単細胞な考え方だと、鏡の向こうは現実世界なのかもしれないな。
I'm not sure about that.
ほう。君は僕の意見に反論するのか。
Like I said earlier, if this is all a dream, then it's a really boring one. I may have amnesia, but I'm pretty sure most dreams are more entertaining than this.
モノクロームの夢だってあるぞ。
Well, this game is not monochrome. Like chess.
チェスみたいにな。
Did you know the word monochrome originally referred to paintings done in different shades of a single color? But of course, when you factor in the background color, you end up with 2 colors total.
君は記憶をなくしている割には無駄知識満載だな。
That's a cool thing to know, actually. Yeah, well, so do you. If this is a dream, then it makes sense that we both draw from the same memories. We're one and the same.
今更だが、夢落ちを示唆したこと取り消していい
Oh,
か。
he doesn't like that. Yep.
こんな頭のおかしいやつと僕が一緒くたにされている。なんという屈辱。
Anyway, back on topic. Regardless of whose dream it is, I get the feeling it won't be easy to get back to the real world.
なぜ
Because I somehow doubt the person having this boring dream wants to go back to
なら
reality.
このままここに残るか
No. No way. If there's a mirror here, then it has to mean something.
そうかもしれないし、そうじゃないかもしれんな。
You said you're pretty sure this is a dream, right?
まあそうだ。
Well, maybe it's a lucid dream and we can consciously control what happens within it.
夢だからな。夢とは自分の記憶の断片の再現、再構成と言える。夢に登場する人物や場所は
When the opposite of a lot of people, we know people, but they're still there. Yeah, but like, that's exactly it. They're in a place where there's no people. And it's all black, so if they go to another place, there would be people, and it would be, colorful, I guess.
知らないものは夢でもどうにもならないが、過去に経験したものを元にして脳が勝手に作り出すことだって可能だろ
In that case, I want to pass through the mirror to the other side.
鏡の向こう側にいてどうするつもりだ
I don't know, but if there's a path open to me, then I intend to take it.
君は呆れるくらい前向きだな。
I know. Yep, life's more fun that way. Game, are you dying or did I not press the button? Oh, there we go. You're going to travel to the other side, you reach out to the mirror. And suddenly it radiates a blinding light. When the light fades, the mirror no longer reflects you, but 2 other figures. One on the left is a man as white as snow. On the right is a man draped in all the world's darkness. Ooh, okay. They seem familiar somehow.
奇遇だな。僕もだ。
You prod the surface of the mirror with your finger and it ripples like water.
いけそうだ。
Sure does. What the? When I touched the one on the right, it turned all black.
いかにも曰くありげだな。何かあります危険です近づかないでくださいって言ってる
See, I
よ。
was wondering how they forced you to go, Snow Whites. Wanna check it out?
いやいやいや、なんで楽しそうなんだ。ワクワクするなよ。別れよ。空気を読めよ。行くなってことだろ。
We're going to go there at some
黒くて
point.
硬くて閉じているだろ。どう考えても突っ込んだ瞬間、あいたたたたたなことになるに決まってるだろ。
Dang, that's unfortunate.
残念なのは君の頭で、そんな君と付き合わされる僕の方だよ。
You're going to stick with me.
君がこの手を離さないというのならな。
Alright then, let's go. Together, you and Alice reach out to the mirror. Then you walk through the glass and jump down into the looking glass world. Do we get the opening? Again? Wow! Yes, we do. Sorry about that. I'm gonna get hit with the copyright again if I let this play out, but there's a guitar remix on it this time. That's new. Jump scares! Woo! Thank you for the bits! see, we don't even need horror games for jump scares. I'm jumpy all on my own. Passionate e-guitar version. Passionate Extreme. The guitar is really loud on it. Oh, who's that? Who's that woman? She was new. Oh, fuck. Wait, what? Huh? Or maybe it's the mother. Not our mother, but Snow White's. If it's still about him and the mother in his own world this time around. Once upon a time in the Looking Glass world there lived a peculiar young boy. He was slight of build with lips as red as an apple and skin as white as snow. He was as beautiful as a fairy tale prince, and he stood out from the crowd wherever he went. Gee. But once all the people in the land had settled into their beds, the snowy prince journeyed out to the lake. The air was so cold that his breath turned white, but the prince was unbothered. He simply gazed out at the lake. His body was as cold as ice, and his attitude was chilly. He looked at the world around him with icy eyes too, but by keeping a cool head, he could see things for what they really were. For you see, his heart gleamed like a mirror. How? What? Silvery hair fluttered as a pair of eyes bored into me like two icicles. Hey, big brother, will you tell me the story of the prince as white as snow? Anna? What's going on? One day my mother said to me,
いいこと。あなたは他の子と違ってとってもいい子なの。
Wait, that was Red Riding
だから
Hood.
お外で遊んではダメ。周りのみんなは狼なの。狼はどんな悪いことをするかわからないか
That
ら。
was Red's story.
お母さんがいない間、ちゃんとお留守番しているのよ。
But this time it's actually
もし
voiced
誰
by
かが
a
この家にやってきても、
because
決
in
し
Red's
て中
story
に
it
入
was
れてはい
just
けません。
either not voiced or voiced by him.
わかったよ。母様。
My sweet, beautiful mother. She loved flowers, fairy tales, and all things beautiful. I'm sorry, mother. I'm sorry I didn't listen. I traveled to the dark woods near the lake and soon arrived back at
誰か
home.
いませんか。
but no matter how hard I knocked, no one answered. This was definitely the right house. There weren't any others inside. Hesitantly, I twisted the doorknob. Strangely enough, it was unlocked. The moonlight streaming in through the window faintly illuminated the interior. And the instant I saw it, my body froze solid. What was I looking at right now? Was this a dream or a delusion? If this was a dream, did it mean I'd gone crazy? Or had I been crazy for a while now? What? Okay! Interesting! I have no clue what's going on. Here in the Looking Glass world, winter had finally arrived. It was a tourist... Hello? Excuse me? What? What just... Hello? Huh? What just happened? Don't mind me. Give me a second. What the fuck just happened? Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
Hi.
We are back with the less than desirable tracking, but I'll live. It was a tourist trap with a naturally cold climate, and as such our winters were pretty harsh, or at least they were supposed to be. But lately the afternoons were comparatively warm, with no need for a jacket. Proof of global warming, I guess. Oh, okay. That day I was wearing my favorite white dress, running errands for my brothers. Oh, brothers? What the fuck? What is going on? Do I need to turn on the light? Hello? You want a Pikachu? Okay, you get a Pikachu as soon as I can figure out why I'm being turned into small newer. Hello? No newer, everything is fucking dying. Oh my god, give me just a second. I have no clue what's happening.
No newer poop.
I'm so sorry, hold on. I hate it. I have no clue what's happening. This is fine. We like my streams being scuffed, right? We like my streams being scuffed. Right, here we go. If all else fails, I guess I'll turn back. I'll turn into a PNG tuber for this stream. That's better than nothing? Jesus Christ, what is going on? First it's the Wi-Fi not working. Or like all of our internet. Now it's me. I don't get to exist for some reason. That's very sad. There we go. Okay, here we go. I get to exist again, hopefully. You wanted a Pikachu, you get a Pikachu.
Pikachu. Pika. Pikachu.
The wonders of technology.
Yeah.
This is what it truly means to be a VTuber. I'm late! I raced down the street, both arms laden with shopping bags. One of my more paranoid brothers, Red Riding Hood, had asked me to be home before dark, but the sun was already on the horizon and daylight was running out. Oh, this time Red Riding Hood is our brother. Huh! I was still quite a long way from our house too. It would take approximately 20 more minutes of walking to get there. At this rate, I was not going to make it back before dark. To briefly explain how I ended up in this situation, I got distracted window shopping while I was in town. That's very valid. Yes, it was completely my fault and I deserved whatever lecture I was about to get. Now that I think about it, I could save some time if I cut through the forest, but didn't Red say the forest is dangerous? There was a well-known shortcut that passed through the woods near the lake straight to downtown, and as such our neighbors used it all the time, but once night fell, its popularity plummeted. 6 months from now, the forest would be dotted with lights in the windows of all the summer homes, but during winter it was practically a graveyard. Long story short, the forest was presently too dark to safely walk through. Right, and you don't have a light or anything on you? The sky above me was slowly turning from pale blue to orange. Sure, there was comparatively less light at this hour, but as long as I cut straight through the woods, I could make it out before the sun set completely. Oh god, can you guys even read the entire text if I'm like this? I'm so sorry. No, my glasses! No! I didn't want to move the glasses. I wanted to move a bit more to the side. I'm so sorry. Will you take the shortcut through the woods? Yeah, sure. I'm sorry, Red. And so I decided to disobey my brother and cut through the woods. But karma swiftly bit back. What? I tripped over something and fell flat on my face. Ow, ow, ow. My limbs splayed in all directions as my groceries flew out of my arms and tumbled a short distance away. The entire front of my body ached from the impact. What on earth had I tripped over? I pushed myself up into a sitting position and looked over my shoulder to see a single red apple lying on the ground. What the... What's an apple doing here? Oh, out here. Who do I look like? Isaac Newton? There were no apple trees in this forest, so where had it come from? Someone must have dropped it. Not like it was my problem though. I rose to my feet, but just then something yanked my hair backwards. What the... Twisting my head around, I found that my hair was caught in a tree branch. Yeah, with hair as long as Yurika's, that's no wonder. My heart sank. Not only had I disobeyed my brother by taking the shortcut, but now I was wasting all the time I would have otherwise saved. If I tried to stand, the branch would tear my heart out, but I couldn't untangle myself unless I stood up to do so. The simple solution would be to snap the branch, but it was directly behind me and I couldn't quite reach. Ah. I tried to turn my body, but my hair only grew more and more tangled. Oh, that sucks. And the longer I battled with the stupid branch, the darker my surroundings grew. Great, now I've done it. My whisper echoed on the chilly night breeze. I was completely and utterly screwed. Here I was in the forest at night, the one thing I wasn't supposed to do. At this point, the lecture from my brother was the least of my worries. Would I even make it home alive? Oh, Heavenly Father, is this my punishment for my sins? What sins? But just as I started praying, I heard the crunch of dead leaves underfoot. I'm saved! Sensing that I was a passerby, I looked up eagerly. Oh, hi! Oh, you have different clothes now. There in the dimly lit forest was the most beautiful male specimen I had ever seen. His skin and hair were both white as snow, almost like he was an angel who had fallen to earth.
大丈夫?
No. So later he called out to me. God, even his voice is beautiful.
Yeah, his voice actor is Aoi Shota.
Yeah. I answered shyly. I must have looked pretty stupid lying sprawled on the ground, but I didn't care. My heart was fluttering at the idyllic prospect of this beautiful man rescuing me. However,
そう
the man gracefully turned and headed back the way he had come. Hey, wait, please, I'm not okay at all. As I shouted after him, he mercifully came to a stop.
何?
Well, my hair is stuck. My hair's caught in a branch.
ほどいてほしいの?
That would be very nice, yes. Yes, please. I nodded vigorously. With each knot, the branch yanked my hair painfully, but right now I didn't care. The handsome man walked right up to me, reached out, and roughly grabbed the branch instead of gently untangling me. Wait, what? Hold on a minute, this is the part where you're supposed to lean in close and I get all flustered. Wait, what was the snapping sound?
ほら、取れたよ。
The idea of fixing it was to snap the branch off entirely. Well, thank you very much. I was in a real bind. The broken branch dangled from my hair as I curtsied.
別に。
Betsy? His flawless lashes fluttered as he shrugged and walked away. After he was gone, I stood there for a while staring into space. My cheeks were burning and my heart was thumping in my chest. Then the next thing I knew, my lips were moving of their own accord. I'm in love? It was the winter before my 20th birthday. And I, Yurika Arisu, had just met my Prince Charming. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? What the fuck is this? There we go. When I arrived safely at home, I told my four siblings everything that had happened. 4 siblings? Also, thank you for the pasta check. What do you mean 4 siblings? Do you just have all of these guys as brothers this time?
運命の王子相変わらず寒いな
Don't do that. Don't make sounds. Cinderella rolled his eyes at me as he ate a slice of apple pie. He was the oldest son and he ran the household. Also, thank you for the hydrate tank. Wow, they're all our brothers.
夢見る女の子やもんな。
Why? Thankfully, I could count on Kaguya, the third son, to stand up for me.
で、そのひいさんの
But I don't know
運
him.
命の王子様っちゅうお人はどこの誰なの？
I don't know. He left before I could ask him his name. I let out a small sigh. If only I'd gone after him instead of zoning out like I did, so I could have asked him for his name. What a shame.
そっか。ちなみに、その運命の王子様っちゅうのはどこで会うたの？
Also, have any of you ever tried like banana milk? Because I bought one today because I was like, you know, it's on sale. I want to try it because a friend of mine really liked banana milk, but this one tastes weird. And maybe it's just not for me. I keep drinking it though because I paid money for it, but no sister? Oh boy, oh boys. And the first answered with a smile, and in response,
森の中
uh-oh. The second son, Red Riding Hood, looked up from his food in alarm.
ゆりかさん
The look on his face was dead serious. Yeah? It was too late to curse my folly.
あなたは夜の森を一人で歩いたんですか
No. Well, I faltered.
歩いたんですね
Yeah? The look on his face told me he could see right through me, so I answered honestly.
なぜ
So I could get home sooner.
夜の森は暗いんですよ
It's dark in the city as well. I mean, technically it was evening at most.
今は冬です夕方には真っ暗になっていますあなたは夜の森がどれだけ危険か全く分かってない
I'm sorry.
謝って済むのなら警察はいりません
I know. Slumping my shoulders, I endured the lecture from Red. He was completely right, of course. I had no room to argue. Having experienced it firsthand, the forest was indeed dark and scary at night. But if I hadn't gone there, I wouldn't have met my Prince Charming.
森には怖い狼が潜んでいるんです何かあったらどうするんですか
I would fight them. I dropped into karate stance.
あなたはレディーなんですよレディーが狼に勝てるわけないでしょ
I don't know about that. I can think of a few female martial artists who could totally take a wolf or two.
その辺にしておいてやれよ赤ずきん
Yeah.
こいつも一応
Wait, but who's the fourth brother then? The hunter? The Yoshi? Cinderella stopped watching from the sidelines and stepped into her house.
ですが
ゆりかちゃんももうそんなことせえへんよ
Well,
な。
I wasn't planning on it in the first place. Even Kaguya was joining in now, so there was only one thing I could really say. Oh, probably not. I shook my head, beaming.
おい
Okay, definitely not. I easily corrected myself.
うん。よくできました。よしよし。
Hey.
I grinned as Kaguya stroked my hair. As for Red, he was still giving me a stern look, and I could tell there was more he wanted to say. At first I flinched under his steely gaze before deciding to formally apologize for my actions. I'm sorry for making you all worry. I couldn't really blame Red for being angry. For one thing, I had disobeyed his orders, and for another, I knew his anger was proof of how much he cared. He let out a heavy sigh.
まあ過ぎたことを言ってもしょうがありません。次からは気をつけてください。
Oh, we're definitely going to go there again. Okay, thanks for caring about me, Red.
まあ
He.
あなたに何もなくてよかったです。
Honestly, so far, I think he's still very much my fave. Simply because his rule wasn't as... Boom! Over the top as the others. Blushing, he turned away.
Hehe.
I was so happy I couldn't help but giggle. Cinderella, the eldest son, Red Riding Hood, the second son, Kaguya, the third son. These were my kind, loving older brothers.
でだ
Once the matter was settled, Cinderella changed the
とりあ
subject.
えず誰かこいつを何とかしてやれよ
What? Who? Hmm? I looked in the direction he was pointing.
ありえないありえないありえない。
Oh!
ありえない。
Oh, there he is! Gretel, the youngest sibling, was sitting on the floor and staring into space. Oh, right. No wonder it felt like someone was missing.
何かブツブツ言ってますね。
ああ、せやな。
It was so creepy none of us knew how to react. For the time being, I figured I could at least listen into what Gretel was saying.
姉さんは将来僕と結婚するんですから、運命の王子様とか人の子とか。だいたい顔がいいだけなら僕だって美形の範疇に入るし、白王子とかバカバカしい。
Yeah, you had your turn already. Sorry, bro.
緑じゃダメなんですか？緑は不人気ですか？緑は癒しの色ですよ。あれですか？僕が漂白剤をかぶればいいんですか？
まあ触らぬグレーテルにたたりなしとか言うしな
I don't think anyone says that.
そうですね。
And so the rest of us went back to our dinner, mightily creeped out by Gretel's antics. Cinderella, the eldest son, Red Riding Hood, the second son, Kaguya, the third son, Gretel, the youngest son, and me, the eldest daughter. The five of us lived together peacefully in a cafe in a looking-glass world. With its primal location and top tourist destination, we got a fair amount of business. Each day was more chaotic than the last, but for me it was a happy and fulfilling life. Wait, but where's Ryoshi in this one then? I feel like it was right around here that I fell. The next day I visited the forest on my lunch break, in hopes of another encounter with my prince, of course. Since we met in this forest, it stood to reason that I might find him here. The culprit always returns to the scene of the crime, as they say. So I sat down in a random spot, took out my packed lunch, and waited for my reunion with Prince Charming. Who did not come, because it's the middle of the day. An hour later, I packed up and headed back to the cafe. Well, I guess I can't really expect life to be that easy. Apple in hand, I let out a depressed sigh. In the end, Prince Charming never turned up. I had seen this coming, obviously, but it was still disappointing.
どうかしましたか？
The next thing I knew, Red was peering at me curiously from beneath his riding hood. The color red reminded me of apples, which reminded me of my prince. It pained me to even look at him.
もしや例の王子様のことですか？
No. His gaze turned sharp. Yeah. He's on the hunt for the wolf in the forest. I didn't want to lie to him, but at the same time I didn't want him to worry for me any more than he already did. That reminds me, those wild herbs and vegetables you picked have been a huge hit with the customers. To take my mind off things, I changed the subject.
ええ、そのようですね。
Fortunately, he went with it.
今日は冬いちごを見つけてきました。
Ooh,
ジャムにすると美味しいですよ。
nice. He showed me his basket full of berries. Oh, thank you. I'm sure Gretel will be
そ
thrilled.
うだといいのですが。
Oh. He glanced over at the corner of the room. Oh, he's still there?
姉さん姉さん姉さん姉さん姉さん姉さん。
Oh, God. Are you okay? Gretel repeated the word over and over like some kind of incantation. This had lasted for several hours now.
あなたに好きな男性ができたことがよほどショックだったようですね。
Well, I'm flattered but also kind of terrified. Great girl. Summoning my courage, I decide to speak to him.
姉さん。
Yeah. As I approached, he looked up at me with empty eyes. He was my precious baby brother. As such, it was my job as his big sister to cheer him up. Listen, Gretel, I obviously love my prince in a way no one else can ever possibly compare, but you're still my little brother, okay?
甘いこと言ってますが、こんな状態の僕を放っておいて、休憩時間に例の白王子を探しに森に行ってたことはお見通しなんですよ。
Well, I'm free to spend my lunch break as I like. Is he psychic or has he been stalking me? Come on, Gretel, cheer up. Your big sister will buy you anything you want.
なんでも
Uh-oh. He perked up. Yep, anything. I had a bad feeling about this, but I was willing to bite the bullet. Anything for my baby brother.
じゃあ、1個1800円するブリュッセルワッフルが食べたいです。
Why would it cost $18? Good grief, that's pricey. What restaurant sells Belgian waffles for $18? Okay, sure. If you want a waffle, then I'll buy you a waffle. I had a feeling this would clear out the contents of my wallet, but I just have to suck it up. Anything for my baby brother.
1杯2000円のスペシャルなパフェ。
What kind of luxury ingredients do they put in a $20 buffet? For real, what the fuck do they put in there? Sure, you can even order a special buffet.
1杯1000円するオリジナルブレンドティー。
Okay, now it's getting kind of ridiculous. Getting kind of ridiculous right now. You done? Okay, now that sounds like a ripoff. I can make you some tea anytime you want. We have all the ingredients right here at home. Tucking his knees up to his chin, he stared at the floor. I was just kidding! Of course I'll treat you to the $10 specialty. The specialty. The house specialty. As I hastily amended my statement, Gretel looked up
し
playfully.
ょうがないですね。姉さんがそこまで言うなら許してあげますよ。
Bribery complete. And at almost $50, it was a rather expensive bribe indeed.
ついでに姉さんとのデートが決定したわけですが、日取りはいつにします？
As it turned out, my little brother could be surprisingly shrewd. Just then, Cinderella walked in.
おいお前ら、サボってないで、ちゃんと働きやがれ。
So they're all walking together, huh? Yeah, whatever you say. Just then, someone must have slammed their elbow against the table or something because a bowl fell to the floor with an ear-splitting bang.
何ですか？敵襲ですか？
おい、誰だこんなところにボールを置きっぱにしたの？
The flower from the bowl flew up into the air like a smoke bomb. Now they're all white.
前が見えない。
Someone just touched my butt.
変なところ？
Trapped inside a cloud of white, we all started to
どうで
panic.
した？ホールまで声が聞こえてきた。
As if all of them can work together. Yeah, that I cannot see this cafe going well.
ほんま、どうしたん？
With the whole room coated in flour, all I could really do was laugh. I mean, it is really bad if you actually throw down a bowl of flour, but it's not actually as bad as they show it in cartoons and all that every time. Like, it has to be a really big bowl to cover everything. Before I knew it, the sun had set and night had fallen. It was just past 9 p.m. We had all eaten our dinner, completed our prep work for tomorrow, and gone back to our rooms. 9 p.m. I crept out into the hall, careful not to make a sound. Slowly, I snuck down the stairs toward the front door.
どこに行くつもりですか？
I knew it! Where Red was waiting for me. Huh? They found Red waiting for me. I was just going to take the trash out. This was the excuse I had prepared in advance.
ゴミなら私が捨てておきました。
Damn it. He had seen right through me.
あなたのことです。
Yes.
例の王子様とやらに会いに夜の森に行くつもりなのでしょ？
Yes. He sighed in
森に行
frustration.
っても王子様と再び会える確率は低い。しかし何もせず、
I
ただ
mean,
機会を
if
待って
you
いるよりか
don't
は、
think I'm safe
自
in
ら
the
行
first
動を
one,
起こ
you
した
could
方が気
also
持ちも
just
すっ
go
きりする
with
とかなんと
me
か考
and
えている
wait
ので
for
は？
him with me. He had seen right through me, part 2. Bingo! Hear me saying I shot him in the finger
ビ
gun.
ンゴじゃありません。夜の森は危ないと散々注意しましたよね。それなのにあなたは夜の森に行くつもりですか？
His sharp glare made me flinch. And I'm coughing, I'm sorry. After a long moment when we glared daggers at each other figuratively. I'm sorry, I'll go back to my room. I trudged back the way I
待っ
came.
てください。
Huh? Glancing back over my shoulder, I found Red scolding
私
sulkily.
がついていきます。
Yeah!
森に慣れている私が一緒な
See?
ら
Why not do
少
that?
しは安全でしょう。
You don't mind? I stared back, stunned by the unexpected offer.
よくはありませんが、あなたがこれ以上落ち込んでいる姿を見るのは辛いですから。
As he spoke, he adjusted his riding hood. This was his little nervous take that he did whenever he was embarrassed. But I kept walking.
ゆりかさん、
I made to the third stair, then I turned around. Oh, Red, you're my favoriteest brother in the world! And threw myself onto him.
うわー！抱きつくんじゃない！
I knew I could always count on my brothers.
私の後ろをついて
But
歩い
it's
て
an
ください。
interesting setting.
あ
That
と
they are
足
suddenly all
元
our
に気をつけて
brothers.
ください。
Uh,
この辺りは
but
足
the
場が悪い
Yoshi
で
is
す
not a
から。
part of them. It's making me very nervous. Because he was there for like a second when she asked him to tell the story of the prince, right? Got it. Carrying a lantern, Red illuminated the path. Kinda spooky in here, isn't it? I glanced around as I spoke. Unsurprisingly, the forest proved to be pitch black and would have been practically untraversable without a light source. Not only that, but with all the animal noises and rustling sounds, it was giving off a total horror movie vibe.
だから言ったでしょう。夜の森は危ないと。
Well, good thing I got you with me. I clutched the hem of his riding hood. He's so cute. I love him. But I could tell from his tone that he was pleased to hear it. Deep down, Red just likes to feel needed.
そうだ、ゆりかさん。
Can't go back to
そんな
dating
格好では寒いです
your brothers. Well,
私の武器を貸しましょうか。
I mean, we had Gretel's entire route. Wait, what? Really? You sure? This was Red Riding Hood we were talking about. His riding hood was his trademark thing. If I took it away from him, he'd just be a generic pretty boy.
構いません。妹の
I mean, maybe they're all
風を吹かせるわけ
adopted.
にはいきませんが
Who knows? We don't know. They haven't said anything. And so my brother pulled off his riding hood. Psych.
スペアを持っていてよかっ
Of
た。
course he has a spare. He pulled another hood out of his wicker basket and draped it around my shoulders. Why wouldn't he just give us a spare then? Thanks. I was kind of hoping to get a rare glimpse of hoodless Red, so I was a tiny bit disappointed.
しかし、あなたが出会ったという王子様は、なぜ暗い森の中を歩いていたのでしょう。
That's a very good question. Beats me. Maybe he was trying to get home before dark, same as me. Answered from beneath my hood.
なら、この辺りに住んでいるのかもし
The
れませんね。
hood. The Red Riding Hood.
Gosh, I hope so. Worst case scenario, he was a tourist who lived far
ちなみ
away.
に、王子様の特徴は
Very white.
白ですか？
Look out! It's a white guy! Yeah, white skin, white hair, white clothes, slim build, and a face so perfect it was practically sculpted by God himself. The memory of his handsome features made me giggle dreamily.
それはもしや、というやつでは。
What? I blinked.
真っ白な姿で夜の森に現れるだなんて。まとも
Well
な人間の神経では考えられません。
I'm literally wearing all white right now. I pinched the hem of my dress and held it
あ
up.
なたはまともではありません。
Oh, excuse me! Red shrugged and kept
それ
walking.
に、真っ白な姿といえば、幽霊と相場が決まっています。
He's not a ghost. He helped untangle me from a tree branch.
足はありましたか？
No! Just then, one of the nearby shrubs started to rustle and a dark figure dashed out. My scream echoed through the quiet forest. Would a ghost dress all fancy? Well, if it was a fancy ghost. After a moment of silence, Red
安
snickered.
心してください。ただの狐です。この辺りに意外と出るんです。
Listen, maybe before he turned into a ghost, he was wearing some fancy clothes. Why am I frozen again? Alright, there we go. Oh, just a fox.
おてんばなあなたも少しはレディーらしいところがあるのですね。
Tomboy scream too, you know.
これであなたも分かったでしょ。森がどれだけ危険で恐ろしいものなのか。今回はただの狐でしたが、悪漢や変質者という可能性もあるわけです。
As he smugly lectured me, there was a rustling sound and a white figure appeared in the darkness.
君は
Hi! Tim!
出た
Red and I both started screaming, our cries overlapping in the night.
うるさい。
Scrunching up his handsome features, the beautiful young man covered his ears. White hair, white skin, white clothes. His appearance was evocative of an angel or snow sprite. He was, without a doubt, my Prince Charming!
君は
Prince Charming! He looked at me, his eyes widened slightly. Oh god, am I ugly? I don't have a mirror on me.
地べたとキスしてた子だよね。
Yeah, that's me. I slumped my shoulders. No, well, kind of. I definitely fell, but I didn't face plant.
じゃあ植樹プレイの子
I didn't hug any trees. If anything, the tree hugged me. Anyway, my name's Yurika Arisu. Thanks again for helping me yesterday. I couldn't let this conversation go around in circles, so I took the initiative and introduced myself.
そう
He muttered curtly and looked away. End of conversation. Granted, I wasn't expecting him to be very chatty given our previous interaction, but still, couldn't he at least respond with something? Either way, it was too early to give up just yet. I need to keep the conversation going. How will you keep the conversation going? We ask him for his name. Could I ask for your name if you wouldn't mind?
やだ
Wait. Rejected in less than a second. What do you mean, no? In that instant, all of my hopes and dreams were destroyed. As I stood there perplexed, he glanced over at me.
白雪
Huh? What?
俺は白雪白い雪と書いて白雪
Snow White, what a perfect name for a prince. Textbooks is really naming Prince Charming now, yeah? It's the little things in these games that I love. This was all it took to breathe life back into my shattered heart. The name Snow White fits his aesthetic to a T. Clearly his mom was a genius.
王子
Unfortunately, he was more interested in the minor details. Oh, it's a nickname I used to refer to you. He answered hesitantly as he fixed me with a dubious look.
うーん
I thought he looked away. Doesn't bother you?
好きに呼べば
Yay! Permission obtained.
そっちの彼は
Prince Charming's gaze drifted behind me to Red. This is my older brother.
兄さん
He blinked in surprise.
はじめまして。彼女の兄の赤ずきんと申します。
Red inclined his head politely, his hood hanging low over his eyes, almost like he was pointedly avoiding eye contact. What's wrong, Red?
あ、いえ。
He stammered awkwardly. Something was definitely off about him.
そのあなたが言っていた王子様というのがまさか女性。
No, not manga. The last part was the sound he made after Prince Charming silenced him. By which I mean he took his book and flung it at my brother's head. His pitch was so flawless it took my breath away. Sound snapped me back to reality. Red! I hastily ran over to him, but it was too late. He was unconscious. Well, holding my brother in my arms, I looked up at Prince Charming. He stared down coldly at his victim. Honestly? Good for Good for Snow White now. Oh, sorry, I thought you were a girl. His gaze was so icy I nearly froze
俺
over.
は男だ
His voice was ice cold too. Yeah, I know, obviously. Intimidated, I nodded eagerly.
アリス
Yes, what is it, Prince? I straightened up
そ
sharply.
この本取って
Yes, Your Highness. Like a servant, I picked the book up off the ground and handed it back to him.
ありがとう
The chill in the air faded away. No problem. There was a long moment of silence and then he turned and started walking away. Wait, where are you going?
君に言う必要がある？
Yeah, nope. Well, will I see you again? I called after him desperately. We've only just been reunited. I don't want to lose him again.
さあね。君次第じゃない？
It is? He replied without even looking back. Why? What? How? It's up to me? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Show me what I want to see. Tell me what I want to hear. After we moved to the looking glass vault, going to the lake became part of my daily schedule. The lake was situated within a primeval forest with water so clear it reflected the trees upside down like a mirror. Almost as though an upside-down world was trapped just beneath the surface, and I loved to gaze out at it. If I reached out to it, could I pass through to the other side? I thought about her. I had a feeling I would see her again at some point, but I wasn't expecting it to come so soon. The encounter thrilled me, and when we parted ways, it left a hole in my heart. I never imagined she would make me feel this way, but still, some questions remained. She was out walking through the dark forest with a man in a Red Riding Hood who she claimed was her brother, but why? And why was she dressed like that? When our eyes met, her whole face lit up. Was she looking for me specifically? The possibility warmed my heart. Right from the moment I first laid eyes on her, I thought she was utterly adorable. Porcelain skin, a pure white dress, soft, thick, light brown hair. That's supposed to be brown? Those red and blue... What? I'm sorry, am I the colorblind one here? They sparkled like gems. If my mother saw her, I'd just know she'd give her a big hug and say, "You look like a princess." When I returned to my home in the shadowy forest, I heard a voice calling for me. Wait, that's my house.
Shirayuki? Shirayuki? どこにいるの?
It was my mother. Evidently, she was looking for me.
ここにいるよ。母様。
As I revealed myself, she let out a sigh of relief.
よかっ
Oh, see, I was right.
た。どこに
The woman in the opening is his mom, who's a new character. She pulled me into a tight hug. I could have just been honest and told her I was at the lake, but instead what left my lips was an
ごめ
apology.
んなさい。
Deep down, I was scared that she would pull away from me, that she would abandon me. Nothing frightened me more than the thought of infuriating her to the point that she threw me
ダ
out.
メじゃない。お母さんと約束したでしょ。お外は危ないから出ちゃダメだって。
She frowned sadly as she scolded me. My heart ached unbearably at the thought that I'd made my beloved mother
ごめん
worry.
なさい。
まさかまた一人で湖に行ってたの？
So it's actually the thing that happened to Red Riding Hood also happened to the Snow White? How the mom told them to not go out? There was a pause and then she drew her hand to my face. Thinking she would hit me a flinch, but she simply stroked my cheek.
あなたはこの世界で一番可愛い私の子。だから外に出てはいけません。分かってね。これはあなたのためでもあるの。外の世界は狼ばかり。可愛いあなたなんてガブリと食べられてしまうわ。
Interesting parallel? I know.
分かってるよ。
Indeed, I knew. I knew exactly how sinful it was to disobey her. Yet you do it anyway. Snow White is so dreamy. The next day we're walking at the cafe side like a girl smitten. That's because you are. Which is to say I was quite literally smitten with him. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw my prince's beautiful face. Snow White.
白雪
Uh-oh! I snapped back to my senses to find Gretel scolding at me. Gretel, aka clingy brother number 1. If he knew I was meeting up with my prince, he might try to lock me up inside the house. No, I said, donut bites. Donut bites. Hold on. Well, Snow White doesn't rhyme with donut bites, does it? Snow White, donut, no. Donut bites, sure good, aren't they? Donut bites. It felt like a pretty filmsy cover, but fortunately for me, Gretel the desert lover latched onto it immediately.
ああ、いいですよね。僕も好きですよ、白玉。あのプリュンとした食感、柔らかい喉越し、 小さくて可愛らしいフォルム。
Yeah,
そして癖
donut.
のないほのかで上品な甘み。さまざまなデザートに合わせられるデザート界の名脇役。花で言えば霞草みたいな白玉ですよね。そんな白玉を好きだと言ってのける姉さんはなかなかのクロートですね。さすが僕の姉さんだ。
I know. You think so? As Gretel rumbled at me with his eyes sparkling, I struggled to think of a response.
そうだ。今度のデザートは白玉あんみつにしようかな。いや、それとも白玉ぜんざい。姉さん、何かリクエストはあります？
For dessert, let me think. Honestly, I'm kind of in the mood for snow cones. Snow cones made me think of snow, and snow made me think of Snow White. Then again, I guess it'd be silly to eat snow cones in the winter. I shook my head at myself. However,
いいえ、冬こそかき氷を食べるべきなんですよ。
yeah,
暖房が
he's
ガンガンに効い
on
た部屋
that
で
thing.
キンキンに冷えたか
It's
き
like, okay,
氷を
it's
食
cold
べる。
outside, but we are warm inside, so we're eating something cold and tasty.
さすが僕の姉さんだ。実に趣味がいい。
I haven't had ice cream in a while. It's only seemed to excite him more. You think so?
そうですよ。
Evidently, the king of sweets had a lot to say regarding seasonal desserts.
うん。今僕の中でビビッときました。
Oh,
というわけで、姉さん、
what's up?
新作のレシピを思いついたので、少しの間。
Ah, right, we're not allowed to be in the kitchen while he's cooking. What? He flashed me his most charming smile.
さあさあ早く。できたら姉さんに一番に食べさせてあげますから。
What? But the cafe! I didn't even have time to come up with a counter argument before he pushed me bodily from the room.
大丈夫ですよ。何か注文があったとしても、一杯1000円のボッタな紅茶にかぐや兄さんをぶったたける券でも
Cup
つけ
of
ておけ
rip
ば、
off
女の人は
$10
勝手に
tea
満
over
足しますから
Kaguya's head voucher. I knew that tea was a rip-off. But he ignored me and shut the door in my face. Good grief. I let out a big melodramatic sigh and slumped my shoulders. The demon of sweets was just as passionate about making sweets as he was about eating them. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but he had this one little quirk. He refused to let anyone watch him make them. At one point, the rest of the family debated whether he was lacing them with drugs, but they still tasted amazing, so we decided not to worry about it. You just had spaghetti yesterday? Oh, nice. I hope it was good.
お疲れ様
I
で
had a
す。
donut today. Because I was like, you know what? If I'm forced to go grocery shopping, then I'm gonna get myself a fucking donut. Just then, I made eye contact with Red as he returned from his shopping trip. Welcome home. The kitchen's off limits at the moment.
知ってます。
He set his wicker basket on the floor.
何か
He squinted at me dubiously as I stared at him. Hey, big brother.
ダメです。
I didn't even ask yet. I pouted.
言わなくてもわかります。どうせ今晩も彼に会いに行きたいから私に夜の森に付き合えというのでしょ。
Actually, I was going to ask if I could go by myself this time.
もっとダメです。
He glared at me sharply.
言いましたよね。夜の森は危険なんです。
Well,
あなたにもしものことが
do
あ
we
った
not
ら
have
どうする
phones
んで
this
すか。
time? Okay then, will you come with me?
それは
He stumbled over his words.
とにかくダメなものはダメです。
He tried. How come?
それは
You came with me last time, didn't you? Sensing an opening, I started to press him. He pursed his lips and fell silent. And unless I was seeing things, he was looking a little pale. Can we just swing by?
どうしてもです。
Even just for a few minutes?
ちょっともダメです。
Fine. At this, Red smiled in relief.
分かってくれましたか。あなたはいい子ですね。
Oh yeah, then where's my hat pad? With an innocent grin, I spread my arms wide and awaited my reward. Whenever Kaguya called me a good girl, he always stroked my hand till I melted.
しません。
I clucked my tongue in frustration. You call me a good girl and you don't give me a hat pad? You disgust me, big brother. And being sad, fine was not the same thing as I promise I won't go. Sorry, Red. I know you're worried about me, but I'm not going to get my Prince Charming if I just sit around at home like a good girl.
Hell yeah! Thanks for the pat.
And so that night I snuck out to the forest. Oh! After nearly an hour of searching, I found a lone figure sitting on a lake pier. Now then, internally I was overjoyed to have found him again, but I decided to play it cool and keep my composure. Good evening. Just then he started to lean toward the lake. No! What? Eh? Don't do it, Prince! I dashed over to him, seized him by the scruff of the neck and hauled him back up. Eh? The momentum sent me stumbling backwards onto my rear, but I didn't care. Sure, winter had only just set in, but the weather was still cold, especially at night. Jumping into the lake was practically a death sentence. Oh God, are you okay? My prince lay on his back near my feet. Almost like an impromptu lap pillow scene. Hello, wow! Moki, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome! Moki Doki crew coming through. Hey, hi! Welcome! Good evening! A Pikachu for all the raiders. Okay, hold on. Pikachu! Pika! Pikachu! Hi, welcome! Hi, I'm new. I play visual novels and RPGs mostly. My favorite color is pink. I hope you all enjoyed your stream. Moki, what did you stream? Hold on, let me give you a shout out. Moki. What did you... Dead by Daylight. Classic old Dead by Daylight. Did you win? Oh, you were trying to kill it. Ooh, did you win? Is it hard being a killer in Dead by Daylight? Like, I know I rarely play a hunter in IDV. Because it's just one person against 4 other people who try to obviously get out. Nope. Damn. The survivors are too good. It's pretty hard. Oh. But was it fun then? I hope it was at least fun. We just saved a guy from almost jumping into the lake, but I don't, like, we think he was about to jump into the lake. I don't actually. It was really fun. That's good. I'm glad. That's good. I'm sorry. Hastily I relinquished my grip. Newly freed, he rose to his feet. He is really pretty. As he spoke, he offered me his hand. No, I'm okay. I'm going to show up to my Twitch and be toxic. Aww. Oh, that sucks, though. The fuck? Like, when you played a hunter against them and then they came into your chat, what the fuck? You found it fun. Well, but who does that? Good thing, man. No toxic. How do you say it? Toxic. Whatever the noun of toxic is, in my chat allowed. Only fun times. People try to go out for that one. He goes, well, I'm glad you found it funny then. I'm glad you had fun. Like, sadly, my internet toxicity. Okay, thanks. My internet provider is fucking up spectacularly, so I'm so sorry I wasn't really there for your anniversary. But I still hope everything went well. Try not to take things. True that. You have to like ignore that kind of stuff. But still. The banhammer! The banhammer. I don't think... No, wait. I think I had to ban like one person at my debut. But other than that, we've been good. And I'm glad. I like my community wholesome. I told him I was startled to find it ice cold. Not only that, but he was much stronger than I was expecting him to be, given his scrawny arms. Thank you. Apparently he was more masculine than I thought. My heart fluttered. Felt really good using a banhammer once in a while. Yeah, true that though. mean, what am I doing? I was so busy reveling in my own personal shoujo manga, I nearly forgot the main issue here. It's not safe to swim in a lake at night.
どれも
You? You, obviously. He averted his gaze and sighed. Dude! He says dude!
こうと思っただけだよ
Why do you go on a stream, be toxic towards stream and chat? Yeah, right? It's like, oh, if I don't enjoy being here, then I will go somewhere else, right? I will never understand that about hate comments on anything. It's like, man. What?
ほら
You show me. He dunks my head into water. I'll show you! He dragged me by the hand to the edge of the pier. Together we peered
こうし
down.
て湖に映る世界を見ていたんだ
The moonlight was bright tonight, illuminating our silhouettes in the rippling water. Oh, I see. In other words, I jumped to conclusions. Well, it's definitely pretty. I attempted to gloss over my mistake. In the water for a fleeting moment, I saw a hint of grief in his expression. Is something wrong? I sat up and looked at him.
別に
He answered without looking at me. Had I upset him? Listen, I'm sorry for hassling you over this misunderstanding. If I'd angered him, then he deserved an
別にいい
apology.
よわざとじゃないんだし
Prince Charming! That's not his name! Touched, I nearly leapt into his arms, but managed to stop
ま
myself.
た会えたね
Oh no, I thought that was a new song, but we know this one. His thick eyelashes fluttered as he spoke. What eyelashes? He doesn't have any eyelashes drawn in. What are you talking about, Yurika? Yep. I beamed. Gosh, I'm so happy to see you.
俺も君に会えて
Well, we know from his inner monologue he is actually happy to see us, so that's nice. Even though he might not show it outwardly. In the moonlight, his eyes glittered. While he did seem happy, he also seemed sort of sad. But why?
君はこの近くに住んでるの
Kind of. Huh? Oh yeah, totally. I live with my 4 brothers at a cafe downtown.
4人の兄弟ね
His tone seemed to imply
兄
something.
弟たちだけで暮らしているの両親は
Don't you think that's kind of rude? No, they don't live with us. Our family's a bit of a special case. See, my parents are both hunters. Whenever they're not traveling for work, they live in a house in a big city. They don't really come out to see us much.
お金持ちなんだね
Upper middle class, I'd say. That's what rich people say. But the money has given us a lot of freedom. It's a privilege and I'm grateful for it.
うーん
What about you, Prince? Where do you live?
森の中にある小さな家だよ
In a little cottage, he says. You literally live in a mansion. So you must live nearby. The conversation ended abruptly.
Hello, good evening. Hello. How are you?
Just when we were finally getting the ball rolling, he grabbed it and tossed it in the trash. Hello? I peered at him curiously.
君は随分と愛されてるんだね
I guess? What?
君の兄弟にだよでなければこうして君の勝手な行動を
Just got home from work, you
こんな風
What,
に
just
見守ったり
now?
しないだろ
Aww. Yeah, I can see why you would be tired. His gaze seemed to pierce straight through me, or more accurately, straight over my shoulder into the distance. Huh? Looking over my shoulder, I spotted a sliver of red fabric peeking out from behind a tree. There was no doubt in my mind, it was red. I'll be right back, okay?
どうぞ
With my prince's blessing, I strode over to where my brother was hiding. And then... Brother, dearest! Pasting a smile into my face, I called out to him in a low tone. It was my, what, pray tell, do you think you're doing voice?
ゆりかさんこれはその
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Crouched low against a tree, he looked up at me and began to panic. I started to feel guilty, like I was bullying him. I'm not mad at you, I knew you were tailing me. I continued in my usual tone of voice.
そうだったんですか
Well, of course. Sure was dark out, but it was hard not to hear someone following you when they were trampling on dead leaves. You followed me because you were worried for my safety, right? I appreciate it. I mean, they could have simply went together in the first place. Even in the moonlight, I could see his face flash red.
いえ、別に私は。
Alright, you're the cutest brother in the whole world. Is he? Well, personally, I like him the most, so yes, he is. So wanna come with me? Smiling, I held out my hand. I mean, we already know you're here, you don't need to hide anymore.
すみません。私にはいろいろと無理です。
Because of reasons? The blood drained from his face and he shook his head vigorously. Can't what?
それは。
Can't what? Can't be around my prince. At this he nodded.
すみません。彼からは言いよう
は？
のない恐怖を感じると言いますか。あまり近づきたく
What's he gonna do to you? Throw a book at you again? Is it because he threw the book at you? He pursed his lips together. Evidently, the book attack was something of a traumatic event for him. Honestly, I couldn't really blame him, but it's okay, Red. He's not a wolf and he's not going to bite. Now let's go. I grabbed him by the arm. Hey! No screaming! I know I'm a girl, but I'm still your sister. Due to his xenophobia, Red was deeply uncomfortable with any physical contact from women. Ah, they actually give it a name this time. Sorry it took so long. Dragging Red by the arm, I saluted to my prince with my free hand. Yo! As soon as the two of them made eye contact, Red shrieked and hid behind me. Sorry about this.
アリス、
Yes, what is it?
手をつないで。
Okay? Sure thing! I grasped his hand with both of mine. Your hands are cold as fuck, dude!
君の手は
And yours is nice and cold.
不純異性行為です。離れてください。
They're holding hands! They're holding hands! That's not why I ignored my brother's paranoid screaming.
次もここに来てくれる？
This is the first visual novel I see where they actually act like the hand holding is the most unsafe part that it could ever have happened.
いけません。
I absolutely 100% will. Rain or shine, come on hell or high water, I'll be there. I shouted to drown or whatever my brother was trying to say.
そう。じゃあ、ま
じゃあ
た明日。
また明日。
With an air of perfect composure, he let go of my hand and spun on his heel. Okay, see you tomorrow! Why are you using so many exclamation marks? And so my prince disappeared into the dark forest. As for me, I waved eagerly until he was out of sight. And then, sorry, Red, what were you going to say? Once we were alone, I checked in with him.
別に。
Butchuni, he says. Butchuni.
He pouted and looked away. He's cute. He's so cute. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me what I want to see, tell me what I want to hear. Look, I choose the perfect stream title for this. I love to read. My favorite books were literary works about people and events, be they real or imagined. In other words, I loved stories of all kinds. Mood. They say truth is stranger than fiction, but I didn't consider real life to be especially superior. Sure, it offered choices that books didn't, but books featured a narrowly constructed world that could handle the most outlandish of plot twists far more consistently than reality. Regardless of the outcome, I could shrug it off and say that's just how the story goes. Thus, no matter what sort of emotional impact a book left on me at the end, it never truly mattered in the long run. Like a still lake, I would always regain my composure. And that emotional distance could make any tragedy beautiful. That day, I was rereading an old book for the upteenth time. I hadn't gotten my hands on anything new recently. Most of the stories in here were incomplete. The readers were waiting on these authors to continue the work, yet the rate of publication had taken a nosedive. To be more precise, they hadn't released a new volume in months. How many times had I read this story? Or this one? As much as I liked them, the more I read and reread them, the more I started to memorize all the details. Sitting on the floor, I grabbed a different book. Old, weathered volumes were scattered around everywhere. Some were my favorites, while others I didn't care for. If I had to reread something, I wanted it to be something I liked. Unfortunately, the one I grabbed turned out to be one of the boring ones. With a sigh, I slumped down onto my side. You could just take a different book. Just, you know. But just then there was a knock at the door. I sat back up. Was he finally here? Come in. With my permission, the door opened. I lowered my gaze to the books to avoid making eye contact. Not like I didn't already know who it was. His shoes entered the corner of my vision.
Yo, Shiraiki.
Ha! Huh? There he is.
Okay, you have fun.
いらっしゃい、漁師。
I closed my book and greeted him. With his ash gray hair and icy blue eyes, I found him flawlessly beautiful. For the record though, his name was actually Ryoshi. That's why I like to call him Huntsman. It was a reference to his name's alternate meaning in Japanese.
ほら、俺が読み終わった本だ。
Wait, who? As he spoke, he pulled a book from his bag. In my excitement, my voice rose up several more octaves than it normally would have.
ありがとう。この前もらった本はもう読み終わったからつまらなかったんだ。
I took the book and looked down at the cover.
これであなたもナンクロマスター。クロスワード全集。なんだ。
Oh, he's not
ま
happy.
たパズル
He's
か。
not happy. Just like that, my excitement was snuffed out in an instant. He brought me a puzzle book last time around too. I quickly deemed it boring. Of all the sad and depressing hobbies to have, he chose crossword puzzles. What a waste of flawless good looks. Puzzles were games, not books. Still fun, but sure they weren't Still fun, sure, but they weren't literature. And that what I wanted above all else was a story. I keep trying to explain this to him, but he didn't seem to get it.
だったら、俺が読み終わるのを待つんじゃなくて、自分で好きなもん選べばいいだろ。
Wait, but how do these two know each other? Who's Ryoshi in this?
別にいいよ。俺も特に読みたい本があるわけじゃないし。
なら文句言うな。
文句じゃなくて正直な感想なんだけど。
I tilted my hat at him and he scowled.
お前、その思ったことを包み隠さず言う癖は
Hey, welcome.
直した
Thank you
方
so
がい
much
い
for
ぞ。
the raid. Good
い
evening.
ろいろと誤解を招く。
Let me give you a shout out.
Oh, you are playing League?
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Why? I hope you're good. Welcome, welcome. Yay.
Did you win? Were you winning, son? According to him, I had a caustic attitude. Personally, I thought caustic meant you were actively trying to hurt people. Surely I couldn't be caustic then, since I had no ill intent. A little bit is better than nothing.
つうか、部屋片付けろよ。
You wanted
出し
spirit.
たもんは出しっぱなしにす
That's
る
good
な。
enough, right? You wanted spirit.
足
That's
の
good
踏み
enough.
場がねえじゃねえか。
As he glanced around, he launched into another one of his annoying lectures. Honestly, he was making a big deal out of nothing. All he really needed to do was kick stuff out of the way. You would let him kick your books? Excuse me?
俺がどこに何があるか分かればいい。気になるのなら。
I was about to say like, oh, Snow White, I can relate to him. I like reading as well, but kicking books? No.
ち、
Listen, the rest of my room will look horrible. I admit that, but my books. No one lays a finger on my books. My books will always look good and be in perfect shape. He clucked his tongue and actually started to pick up the books. Only the most incurable busybody would go to all the trouble of cleaning someone else's room. And yet I found I couldn't quite bring myself to dislike him. Now that he had found a task for himself, there was nothing left for me to do but crack open my new book and start reading. Sure, it was a puzzle book with no story whatsoever, but it was still a book, and therefore I still wanted to read whatever text was in it. That was my personal policy.
漁師、
After a few minutes, I called out to Hideyoshi.
あ？なんだ？
He's actually cleaning the room! His tone was one of annoyance as he continued tidying up the
俺
books.
と漁師が会ってから何年経ったんだっ
That's
け？
a very good question. I would like the answer to.
He paused to think for a moment.
6年くらい
Ooh,
前じゃん
that's a while.
俺たちが初めて会ったのはあの湖だったよね。
ああ、そうだな。お前が真夜中の湖で
But who's
ボケッと突っ立
Hideyoshi
って
in
ると
this
ころに
one?
俺が声をかけたんだ。
It's so weird that he's for once not
最近
Yurika's sister.
夜の
Yeah.
湖で女の子と会ってるんだ。
どんなやつだ？
変わった子だね。一見バカっぽいけど何を考えているかわからないから
I'm a
かも
genius.
しれない。色で例えるなら白かな。
Huh?
純粋ってことか。
そう。綺麗で無垢で純白で
Are you sure about that?
汚れを知らない。何色でも染まり 何色も薄ませ
You met me like 3 times.
他の色と著しく異なる色の女の子だって。
まるで雪みたいだな。
This was my initial impression of her right from the moment we first met. I can't say I agree, but okay.
朝っぱらから気持ち悪いな。
Absolutely not. Cinderella rolled his eyes at me. Say whatever you want about me, for I am a saint and I shall forgive you. With that, I popped a bite of French toast into my mouth. The sweet bread was とっても美味しい。
ひーさんこの頃めっちゃ嬉しそうやな。なんかええことでもあったん？
Oh, you'd never believe it. But just as I was about to tell him about my prince, I realized Gretel was still at the table with us. I mean, nah, it's nothing. My spirits instantly deflated. Phew, that was close. If Gretel finds out about my rendezvous with the Prince Charming, who knows what he'll do?
怪しい。
Nothing, because this is not his game anymore.
姉さんがニヤニヤニヤニヤ気の緩みきった気持ちの悪い顔をしているときは大抵僕にとって悪いことがある
Japanese is so much fun, I swear to God.
ニヤニヤニヤ。
はっまさか例の白王子と何かあったんじゃ
I don't know any Prince Charming. Oh baby, but if only you weren't so sharp. No, really, it's nothing. I haven't even seen him since then. I lied with a straight face. Then I glanced at Red, who averted his eyes. To be fair, I'd already warned him not to tell anyone else about my plans with Snow White, but I didn't guarantee he would keep his word. Anyway, these donuts bites sure are great, just like everything else you make. If I was going to change the subject, I'd have to start by buttering up like a biscuit. As part of today's breakfast, Gretel had made a towering stack of donut bites.
ですよね。
ですよね。
Fortunately, his love of sweets remained his biggest weakness. And they're so cute too!
ああやんな。
Kaguya took the hint and chimed
白
in.
玉っちゅうと白くてまん丸なイメージやけど、こんな風にかたどったり色をつけたりデコレーションできる
I
んや
need
な。
to stop playing games that feature cafes and food. It doesn't fit in with my schedule, you know, because I always eat right before the stream, so I shouldn't eat anything else. But every time we play a game that for some reason features food, I get hungry again. Indeed, Gretel's donut spice came in a variety of cute pastel colors like pink, blue, and green with star-shaped sprinkles on top.
ええそうですよ。いちごソースやきな粉、よもぎやココアを混ぜてこねるんです。シンプルな白玉だからこそできる芸当です。
Oh, that sounds fun. Maybe I'll give it a try myself sometime. And if they turn out good, maybe I'll bring them as an offering, a gift for my prince.
お前らよく冬にそんな寒々しいもん食えるな。
Everyone can
少し
do
は
that.
季節感ってのを考えろよ。
いいじゃないですか。どうせ部屋の中は暖房が効いてるんですし。
Right.
外から来た客はあったかいもんが食べたいんだよ。
これはあくまでも自分用です。いくら僕でも季節感くらい考慮しますよ。
Says the guy who believes eating snow cones in winter is a luxury. Wintry, huh? Admittedly, Cinderella had a point. Our customers weren't going to be interested in donut bites. What else could we offer them instead? Just then, a fun idea crossed my mind. Hehe, now that might be interesting. Uh-oh.
ニヤニヤして気持ち悪いな。
ニヤニヤ。
Yoink! As revenge for his mean comment, I reached over and stole one of his donut bites.
菩薩のように受け流すんじゃなかったのかよ。
で、
That was then, this is now. That's what you get. I popped the donut into my mouth and pouted.
菩薩の顔は二度も持たんかったみたいやな。
Now, obviously, I'm Innocence herself. Itself? Himself? Who knows? Fucking gender. So yeah, I made a whole bunch and brought it with me. Feel free to try
い
some.
らない。
He doesn't like food. That night I arrived at the lake and offered Prince Charming my gift, which he staunchly refused. What do you mean, Paz? Reflexively, I looked over at Red.
彼女の料理はとても美味しいですよ。
On cue, he vouched for my skills.
だから何？
But Snow White's utterly uninterested response stabbed me in the heart.
少しだけでも味見して。
見ない。
Right, for some reason he doesn't eat. He shut us down without hesitation.
ゆりかさん、諦めましょう。
Red looked at me with sympathy in his eyes, but I refused to back down. Instead, I summoned all my courage and quick thinking. Then how about a warm drink?
必要ない。
Just like that, all my courage and quick thinking was decimated in an instant. Damn. Then was in hand, I looked at my brother. Want some, Red?
いただけるのなら
He answered with a resigned nod. Steam rose into the air as I poured the hot liquid into a to-go cup. The sweet fragrance filled me with indescribable happiness.
それ何？
Just a little something I invented. I call it hot fruit punch.
ホットフルーツポンチ？
Even Red looked perplexed. I know the word fruit punch make it sound like a soda, but the punch part is made from 5 ingredients: water, sugar, rice wine, lime juice, and spiced tea. Add fruit, you get fruit punch. So from there, I improvised to create a warm version.
このぷかぷか浮かんでる雪の結晶は？
Oh, I made this with gelatin. Normally, gelatin is clear, but when you add color to it and pour it into a mold, you can make whatever shapes you want, and you can use fruit juice to flavor them too. I repeated everything Great had ever taught me about gelatin in a single breath.
なんで？
Because
雪の
it's
結晶
winter.
なの？
Because they're cute? Nowhere on earth I was going to admit that it was a reference to his name, so instead I came up with a more tame reason.
白玉の雪の結晶で白雪。
Maybe.
No? Well, yeah. I couldn't hide it anymore. I mean, it's cold out here, you know, so I wanted to warm you up somehow. As I spoke, I thought back to the first time I touched his ice-cold hand. Evidently, he'd taken an interest in gelatin shapes. He scooped one up and giggled and jiggled it around on a spoon. You can have one if you like.
いらない。
Does he think I poisoned him or something?
かわいいね。
No, for some reason he just can't eat. He smiled slightly. Then out of nowhere.
アリス。
Oh! Oh, he gets a CG pretty early on. That's amazing. Huh?
口開けて。
He repeated his request more firmly. Then he held up the spoon with a little snowflake resting on it. Wait, is he going to? Oh! I opened my mouth and he popped the gelatin inside.
おいしい？
Yeah.
Tasty. Yes, feed me. I flavored the shapes with apple juice, which paired nicely with the rest of the punch.
そうなんだ。
You could have one too.
俺はいらない。はい。口開けて。
But yeah, no, he doesn't actually have any. Well, okay, yeah, I guess he has white eyelashes. I'd have to see if the others are also colored in like their hair colors or just normal black. Opening my mouth again, I let him feed me another snowflake.
お店の方はどうなの？
We're doing pretty good. I swallowed my mouthful of gelatin. Did you want to swing by sometime?
いつでも大歓迎。大歓迎。大歓迎。You always welcome.
行かない。
Eh? When he mentioned a cafe, I took that to mean he was interested in visiting, so I invited him out of courtesy, only to be shot down.
はい。
I happily opened wide as requested. It's just so awkward because Red is literally sitting right there still. So what happened next? Well, I'm so full. I clutched my belly as we walked.
あれだけ食べれば当然です。
Absolutely not. It wasn't my fault. He looked so cute when he was feeding me. How could I possibly tell him to stop? I made it for you to have some too, but then I ended up eating it all. Sorry, Red.
いえ、それは構いませんが。
In the end, I polished off all the fruit punch. I just wished he would have tried some. Maybe it was my fault for making it for him without asking, but I was still a little disappointed. Maybe he's not comfortable with home-cooked food. Obviously, I kept things clean and sanitized, but he had no way of knowing that, so I could understand if he preferred to stick to store-bought food. How does that make sense? Like, if it's homemade food, you could... Huh? I mean, do I want to know who has touched food when I go to buy it in the store? No. Maybe it was a little premature of me to start making food for him.
そうでしょうか。私には喜んでいるように見えましたが。
Did he?
はい。可愛いと褒めていましたし。
What? No, he was calling the punch itself cute.
私は自分のために手作りの料理を持ってきたあなたに対し可愛いと言ったのだと思いましたが。
Oh.
ゆりかさん
I stopped short. Red looked back at me, frowning. I never thought of that. It was a viable theory. But still, you think he'd at least try one?
お腹がいっぱいだったのか、それとも食に興味がないのでは？
That's impossible. Think of all the wonderful things this world has to offer. Well, I can understand that, though. Steak, quiche, I don't know how you say that. Ratatouille, salsa, stew, rice, bread. Not to mention a whole world of desserts from all over the globe. How can anyone possibly dislike all of it? I ranted and raved like a woman crazed.
ないのでは？
Red shrugged calmly. I can't believe this. I was just speechless.
彼の見た目は華奢ですし、食欲旺盛な姿を想像する方が無理があります。
He lives by an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Maybe he has acid reflux. I mean, most of the big eaters I know are skinny anyway.
そのような希少種を基準にされても。
Yeah, besides I guess I can't really picture my prince getting fat. And yet as soon as the words left my lips, the impact sank in. Fat. Prince. The words didn't even go together. Can you picture fat Snow White? Yes, quite easily?
お腹が空いたブー。炭水化物最高だブー。カレーは飲み物、ピザは野菜、肉は。
Leave the rest to your imagination? Wait, but where's the difference between... It's literally the exact same sprite. How do you feel about Fat Snow White? Heck yeah! On second thought, I love it! Yeah! What the fuck? I pumped my fist. Who cares about little chub? Not me. If anything, it's super cute. Take seals and pandas, for example. They've got plenty of petting, but they're still adorable. So the same goes for my friends. I mean, she's right about that. Who cares about fat? But like... Anyway! I shook away the image in my mind. Things didn't work out this time around, but I just have to keep trying.
まあ、ほどほどに頑張ってください。
I will. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me what I want to see, tell me what I want to hear.
嬉しそうだな。
I was in my room reading a book like always.
そう。
I answered without looking up.
何かいいことあったのか？
別に。
まあ、よかったな。
I was going to ask him what he was glad about, but when I looked up, I found him pulling a cigarette out of his pocket. But then he put it right back again.
吸わないの？
I tilted my head in confusion. Ryoshi smoked like a chimney. This was quite possibly my first time ever seeing him decide not to.
ああ、やめた。こんな部屋で吸ったら火事になりそうだしな。
Don't smoke indoors. It's not good. Was he making a barbed comment about the state of my room? I decided not to ask. Loath as I was to admit it, he had a point. It would only take a single spark to make this whole room go up in flames. Plus, something fun did happen today.
白玉。白雪王子。
He's so cute.
I thought back to the fruit punch she made for me. What a stupid thing to come up with, honestly. And yet, the thought that she made it for me put a smile on my face in spite of myself. Aww!
Baby!
I couldn't keep my laughter inside any longer. It was just so ridiculous. I had done my best to keep a straight face while she was around. Surely I'd earned the right to laugh in private. Ryoshi gave me a look that suggested he could see right through me. Evidently he knew why I was in such a good mood. Well, no surprise there.
ねえ、フルーツポンチって。
I'm so glad that Shoso Uishota for his role fits very well. This was the first question I asked after I caught my breath from laughing.
甘い。
ああ、漁師に聞くんじゃなかった。
I needed a little more to go on than that. How else was I supposed to imagine it? Then again, she was supposedly an amazing cook, so maybe her fruit punch wouldn't taste like the normal stuff anyway.
だったら自分で食べてみればいいだろう。
できるならね。
お前、このままだといずれ死ぬぞ。
Hmm?
わかってる。だけど、どうにもできない。
Knowing this body of mine, it would probably reject her food same as all the rest. Ah? Okay, we get no more information than that. Okay. That being said, as I was washing the dishes, I thought back to last night. I wanted to make my prince happy, but I didn't have any concrete idea of how to accomplish that. There was still so much I didn't know about him. Obviously, we'd only just met, but that wasn't all there was to it. It felt like he was constantly on guard, or at least he didn't seem to want to talk about himself. Maybe if you got to know each other better, and yet I couldn't think of any way to accomplish that either. What was on his mind? What was he looking for? Was there any way I could find out? What do guys like anyway? Well, that you can't say that because everyone is different, but oh, I know. Uh-oh.
はあ男が何をすれば喜ぶか
I don't think you will get a good answer out of either Cinderella or Kaguya. Yeah. I summoned Cinderella to my room so I could hear his perspective as a guy.
真面目な顔で話があるとか言うから何かと思ったらくったらね
Just answer the question. He sat on my bed and rolled his eyes at me. It's not a waste of time. My whole future hangs in a balance here. Sitting on the floor across from him, I desperately tried to make him see things my way. Sure, maybe I was getting ahead of myself, but if we started dating, then surely marriage was just over the horizon, right?
どうせ例の白王子のことだろ
Yeah!
He sighed in annoyance and fixed me with a withering look. This knocked all the good cheer right out of me. How did you know?
当たり前だ俺様を誰だと思ってん
How
だ
did you know? It's the only thing you keep talking about lately. How did you know? My all-knowing, all-powerful older brother Cinderella.
そうだ気づかないわけないだろ知ってるよお前が夜な夜な湖に出かけてるのもな
However would you find out about that? Well, if Red knows about it, then I guess it makes sense Cinderella would too, which means Kaguya definitely knows. I'm sorry. I slumped my shoulders to repent for my behavior. Not that I felt I had done anything wrong, but it probably wasn't safe for me to be going out at night to meet up with a guy I barely knew.
一応赤ずきんがついてるから黙ってるけどあんまり無茶するんじゃねえぞ
Yes, sir. I nodded meekly. In response, he smiled and stroked my hair. Despite his no-nonsense attitude, it was crystal clear that he cared for my well-being. So anyways, what do guys like? When I repeated my question, his gaze left my face and drifted downward.
足だな
That's just you! No, bro, being someone nice, completely safe and normal, especially if you, like, barely know their name or who they are. Legs.
そうだ細くまっすぐ伸びた長い足とりあえず足を出せ
That's just you, Cinderella!
以上だ
Okay. He beamed like he was a genius for suggesting this, but I wasn't so sure. Then again, I wasn't a guy, so obviously he would know better than me. No. No. Don't do it! And so, ta-da! Today I'm wearing my work uniform. If I was gonna flaunt my legs, I meant wearing a miniskirt, and that meant my work uniform. No idea who originally decided we make miniskirts mandatory at the cafe. Still, it was a cute combination of Eastern and Western sensibilities, complete with a frilly hem.
寒くないの
A hoe never gets cold. That wasn't the reaction I was expecting to get. No, I'm okay. I gave him a thumbs up. After all, what's a little discomfort in the name of looking good?
鳥肌立ってるけど
Achoo!
くしゃみ出てるけど
Not having any comeback to that, I silently covered my
あ
nose.
とそこの赤い人が鼻血垂らしながらガン見してるけど
I glanced over at Red. He waved his hand dismissively, his face beat red.
違います私は決してあなたの生足が気になったりなどしています
Evidently, my miniskirt was super effective on the wrong person. How are you suddenly so enthralled by my uniform, Red? Haven't you seen it like a million times by now? Okay, I admit it, I'm cold. Really, really cold. Unable to bear it a moment longer, I tucked my knees into my chest and curled into a ball. At the cafe, we always had the heater running, but right now I was outside, in the middle of the night, during the winter, so yeah. Honestly, I don't know how the girls manage to wear stuff like this outside on a daily basis, but color me impressed.
こっちも見てるだけで寒々しいから風邪ひく前に何か着たら
As usual, my beloved Snow White was perfectly calm and composed. Good idea. Oh, that's it? Okay. Clearly I asked the wrong person. I should have picked someone with actually experience in this department. No! Don't do it!
男を喜ばす方法
Yeah, you have a lot of relationship experience, right? So I thought maybe you could help me.
僕なんかの意見が参考になるんかな
One day parents will learn how to knock on the door. The day is not today.
ひいさんも十分モテるやろ。めっちゃ可愛いもんな。
Well, duh. Kaguya's compliment made me smile to myself, but I quickly snapped back to my senses and shook my head. No, that's not what this is about. I'm wondering how I can get a certain guy to notice me.
それって例の白王子のことやんな。
Well, yeah. Well, if Cinderella knows about it, then you get the picture. Yeah, it's about him. He's proving to be quite a tough customer.
そうなんや。
Out of interest, when it comes to women, what makes your heart skip a beat?
女の子とデートしてる時に別の女の子と目が合うたら、その子に鬼の形相で向かってこられた時。
My good dude, I don't think you have amnesia in this route and you're still double timing? Or worse? That's not what I'm talking about. I said makes your heart skip a beat, not makes your heart stop.
僕は笑顔の可愛い子にドキッとするかな。
Well, who wouldn't be? Cute smile. Okay, got it. I grinned brightly.
笑顔や。素敵やで。さすがひいさん。
I smiled bashfully as he stroked my hair. Wait, maybe I should be showing my teeth when I smile, flashing those pearly whites as they say. I beamed from ear to ear.
ひいさんはめっちゃ可愛い。
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. As he showed me his praise, I felt a derpy smile creep onto my face. Oh, maybe I should try to do it all prim and proper, you know, like a model. Next, I donned a confident, seductive smile. Oh!
僕、ひいさんの魅力にメロメロやわ。
Getting carried away, let out a shrill cackle.
それはちょっと。
Bad.
めちゃめちゃええな。
Huh? It is? Wait, so they're all basically the same. I pouted.
どれでもええってわけでもないんやけどな。ひいさんだからどんな笑顔も素敵に見えるんやって。
Thanks, bro. To prevent myself from grinning like an idiot all over again, I pinched my cheeks to keep my lips straight. You're so good at compliments, Kaguya. Then as I let out a sigh, it hit me. Compliments! That's it! I should compliment him. The foundation of any social interaction. And besides, is there anyone on earth who doesn't like compliments? I doubt it. And so... Oh, Prince Charming, you're so wonderful. And you're so kakkoi. Kakkoi. As soon as I spotted him, I started complimenting everything I could think of. Sure, he was too focused on his book to pay me any mind, but did I care? Nah. I just kept on complimenting him, waiting for him to notice me. Eventually. And you're so cute, too. Ah! Ow! Or does he smack me for some reason? He probably doesn't like to be called cute. It's probably one of those, I'm a guy, don't call me cute, call me handsome, guys. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me what I want to see, tell me what I want to hear.
最近彼女がおかしい。
あ？
突然寒そうな格好をしてきたり、俺のことを脈絡
You
もなく
think the uniform is skimpy? Excuse me. As I reported back to Ryoshi about her behavior, he shook his head and smiled.
なんだそんなことか。
そんなことって？漁師には
It's refreshing now we get to see Snow White's parts all the time.
ああ、わかるさ。
And not like the entirety of
そんなのお
Yurika,
前と仲
and
良くなりたいからに決ま
then
って
for
るだ
some
ろ。
reason only toward the end the guy.
俺と
Startled, I looked up to find his icy blue eyes fixed on mine. He looked nothing like her, yet he reminded me of her somehow.
ああ、そうだよ。お前に好かれたくて、わざわざ寒そうな格好をしたり。
俺は寒そうな格好もむやみ
なら失敗だったってわけだ。
The word failed stabbed into my heart. After all, I knew how it felt to try to impress someone, only to have that attempt backfire. It hurt.
でも仲良くなりたいという気持ちは嬉しいかもしれない。
素直じゃねえな。
He had seen right through me. My face flushed.
で、お前はどうなんだ？彼女とこれからどうなりたい？
俺は
I pictured her in my mind. A luxurious castle-like mansion with elegant furnishings. Banquets held every night. frills, lace and ribbons, a pretty princess in a pretty dress. Indeed, she was reminiscent of a fairy tale princess. Maybe that's why I felt so restless around her. Why my mind went all fuzzy like I was under a magic spell. That said, I was never the most emotionally expressive person, so the average person probably couldn't tell I felt that way.
俺も彼女と仲良くなりたい。
Well, sounds like a good start, right?
なら仲良くなればいいだろ。
どうやってどうしたら彼女と仲良くなれるの？
Most people would know the answer to this question, but because I'd spent the majority of my life closed off from the rest of the world, I didn't know how to connect with people.
そんなの答えはもう出てるだろ。
I didn't understand at first, but it didn't take long for me to figure it out. Simply put, I needed to act like a mirror and reflect her behavior back at her. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! I was starting to get the feeling that the word cube was something of a sore subject for my prince. I didn't know why it had upset him, but the reason didn't matter. If only I could turn back time and do it all over again. If only this was a video game, I could reset it, start from the beginning. Ha ha. Ha, if only. There was no wizard here to grant my wish. Yeah, we haven't seen him yet. Thus I had two options remaining, Red Riding Hood or Gretel. Nope, I'll think of something myself if I have to. And so I settled on a third option. But just then, the sudden knock brought me back to my senses and I jumped to my feet. I knew there was no way it could be him, but just in case I ran a hairbrush through my hair real fast. Then I walked up to the door and took a deep breath. Come in. Tucking a strand of hair behind my ear opened the door. The epitome of sophistication and grace if I do say so myself. Unfortunately...
姉さん。
Hi! It's him! I couldn't stop myself from screaming.
何ですか？妖怪でも出たみたいに。
Maybe you are. Scowling, Gretel covered his ears. Sorry, I had a feeling this would happen, but I really wasn't expecting to be right.
まるで僕と顔を合わせるのが嫌みたいな言い方ですね。
No! Give
い
me
いで
that
すよ。
dessert. I
せっ
love
かく姉さんの
food.
ために作った新作のデザートは僕の胃袋にすべて収めますので。
Pouting, Gretel turned to leave, but I grabbed him by the sleeve. Ha! That rhymes. In his hand was a jar of cookies. The cookies were laden with candies of every color, eye-catching and vibrant like a stained glass window. No, I'll eat them. Please let me eat them. He turned back with an impish smile on his face.
しょうがないですね。はい、口を開けてください。
I hesitated for a moment and closed my eyes and opened my mouth. I waited and waited, but no cookie came. Hello? I opened my eyes slightly, only to find Gretel eating the cookies himself. I pointed to my open mouth, begging for a treat.
僕の扱いを雑にした姉さんが悪いんですよ。
What did
こ
I
れ
ever
はそ
do
の
to
仕
you?
返しです。
He pouted like a sulking child. Oh, come on. So I responded in kind.
そんな顔しないでくださいよ。まったく。しょうがないな。
しょうがないな。
As he spoke, he put a bite-sized piece of cookie into my mouth.
やった
So tell me, Gretel, what kind of girl do you like?
Hello, good evening, DK. How are you?
I already knew the answer to this question, but I decided to ask
姉
anyway.
さん。
Oh, thanks! Saw that coming a mile away. Yeah, that's not helping. And so this time I went all out and made some fancy sweets for my Prince Charming. He's not going to eat them. I'm sorry about last time, Prince. I made you
い
these.
らない。
His reflexes were lightning fast, at least when it came to rejecting me. Defeated, I broke off a piece of cookie and popped it in my mouth. The sugary sweetness danced on my tongue. The way he kept rejecting me outright, I was starting to get some vibes. Some I don't want to eat anything you've touched vibes. If you're not interested in handmade stuff, I could always buy you something.
別に。
He shot that down too. But at least it meant he wasn't disgusted by my food specifically. As I gazed down at his stained glass cookies and plotted my next move, I suddenly felt his eyes on me.
そのクッキー。
ん？
君の瞳みたいで。
Oh. Oh. The next morning. Yeah, she's happy now. As I was making breakfast, Cinderella walked into the kitchen dining area. Good morning, Cinderella, and what a lovely morning it is indeed. I called out to him energetically. He recoiled.
Ohayo.
Who are you? You're currently sitting in a hospital waiting room. Are you okay? Is everything alright? Breakfast is almost ready, so sit tight. I'm making your favorite roast beef for breakfast.
朝から豪勢だな。
Hey, I thought it'd be nice to spice things up every now and then. Go on, have a seat. As he hesitated, I prompted him to sit down and turned back to my work.
おい、なんだあれ。
それが朝からめっちゃ機嫌が良くて。
I could hear them whispering behind me, but I paid them no mind. Listen to me, humming away like a busy bee. Then once breakfast was ready, I brought it to the table. Here you are. Today I made roast beef, grilled sea bram, and blueberry raisin pancakes.
好きなものだらけだ。
Damn.
しかもこのごちゃ混ぜか。
おはようございます。
Just then Gretel turned up. Hi, Gretel. As soon as I spotted him, I pulled him into a high.
姉さん
Possibly broke a toe. Oh. Ouch. Well, I don't want to alarm you or anything, but broken toes don't really... You can't really do much about them. They just have to grow back. The bone just has to, you know. But good on you for getting it checked out. I hope it's not a broken toe. Gretel, thank you so much for everything you do for me. You're the best little brother a girl could ask for. What would you like me to cook for you? Name it and I'll make it. Overwhelmed by my energy, Gretel stepped back, slack-jawed for a moment until... Uh-oh. He suddenly leapt into my arms, sobbing.
今の発言のどこに泣き要素が。
さあな。
There. I stroked his hair as he sobbed. Really, it was all thanks to him that my prince called me, or rather my cookies, pretty, so arguably he had put in the most effort out of anyone. Pretty. Oh, what a wonderful word! Oh my god.
随分と機嫌がいいみたいだね。
You think so? This was the first thing my prince said to me when I arrived at the lake.
顔がにやけてる。
I pinched my
何
cheeks.
かいいことでもあった？
I blinked. Since he was usually so sharp, I figured he would have pieced it together. You don't know why I'm so happy?
わからない。
At this I smirked. Then allow me to give you a hint. It stems from something you said. You may not have realized it at the time, but it meant a lot to me. He paused for a
俺
moment.
が可愛いって言ったから。
Bingo!
君は俺が可愛いって言ったら喜ぶんだ。
Of course, Cindy. Any girl would be happy to. Oh my god! Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god. Hi. Good evening. Hi. Let me give you a shout out. Hold on. Am I? No, I'm probably not writing your name correctly. I am so sorry. Hold on. There we go. Hello, glad to see someone playing Otomo. Yes! Oh, you were playing GeoGuessr, so that's fun. Also, thank you so much for the follows. Welcome. Hey! Hi, I'm newer. I play visual novels and RPGs mostly. My favorite color is pink. We are currently on our third Taisho Alice game on Snow White's Route. We just started this game today. Thank you so much for the follow. I love playing visual novels a lot, so I'm happy to show off Otome games as well. Yay! Thank you so much. Oh my god, my OBS is not catching up tonight. Welcome. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's... Oh. You guys have some fantastic names. Hi, is there anything else I can say about me? I can. Let me show you a fun thing. I'm just gonna redeem it myself. Just because I can.
Vega.
Hi! I hope you're all good. On this, I was about to say Friday, but it's Wednesday. This is fine. I definitely know what day it is.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
There's a real Pikachu somewhere. Yeah! Exactly. I just have a very, very real Pikachu hidden in behind the microphone. Even if he was technically complimenting, you get the picture. Oh no, do you have any favorite food? No, he doesn't like food.
それを俺に聞いてどうするの？
Well, I could make it for you.
別に
Also, we're trying to, you know, date this guy, but he's proving to be hard. A hard catch. Okay, well, it was just a thought. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. I'd feel bad if I'm the only one enjoying our friendship. A pretty slick... I'm sorry, a what? A Segway? Also, English is not my first language, so everyone's aware. English is not my first language. A pretty slick segue, in my own humble opinion. No, if only I could find out what he was looking for.
別に君だけじゃないけど。
He stared at the ground. Huh. His voice was so quiet I couldn't quite hear him. Then he spoke again, this time more loudly and firmly.
別にそんなことしなくてもいいよ。
Aww.
そんなことしなくても一緒にい
You
る
can
だけ
just
でいい。
hang out in the middle of the winter on a lake where we're going to both get sick.
でも膝枕はしてほしいかも。
Whoa.
Never in my wildest dreams did I expect this request. Of course! I spread my arms wide, inviting him in. Do we get a CG?
We get a CG. Fuck yeah.
He placed his hand in my lap, then started to read his book. He was essentially using me as a cushion, but did I care? Not really. What are you reading?
古いミステリー。
A mystery.
The front cover was purple in color and weathered from lots of rereads. Clearly this was one of his favorites. So he liked to read.
そうだね。
Instant screenshot. Yes! If I get a CG, I need a screenshot. Now, did you know he likes to read? How do you respond? Tell him you like to read too. Ask if there's anything he hates. Well, obviously we tell him we like to read too, which is also not. Oh, and there's a difference between this one and the other. Me too.
それがどうかした？
We could exchange, you know, tips on what books were good. His chilly response nearly made my heart freeze over. Oh, I know. Is there anything you can't stand? I hastily switched to a better question. Wait, what? We could have talked about books.
嫌いなもの。
Eh? He hesitated for a moment and
自
then...
分の顔が嫌いだ。
Oh. Huh? Can't say I was expecting that one. I should have known my prince wouldn't make this easy. Could I ask why?
言いたくない。
Okay! Then I guess we won't. I decided to stop asking questions and simply enjoy the moment. You don't want to talk or anything?
何か話さないの？
Oh wait, that's him, not me. Wanna be distracting while you're trying to read?
別に
Okay then, what do you want to talk about?
君のことを話して。
Oh, can do.
君の家族のことが聞きたい。
My family. You do. A hint of suspicion rose up inside me, but I didn't let it show on my face. Instead, I did as requested and told him about my closest family members, my brothers. As I mentioned before, I live with my 4 brothers in a cafe downtown. My oldest brother Cinderella is kind of a jerk sometimes, but he's really responsible and caring. The second oldest, Red Riding Hood, is super serious and super shy. Then there's the third oldest, Kaguya. He's really sweet and happy-go-lucky. And lastly, my younger brother Gretel. He's a good-looking guy who's really good at baking.
個性的な兄弟だね。
Yeah, and for some reason we all handle one cafe together, which I do not understand how that works, but hey. Yeah.
君はそんな兄弟
It's
たちに
chaos.
愛され。
But we wouldn't have it any other way. At this I shifted my gaze. Oh, hi. And Red, who was standing like a bouncer with his hands folded behind his back, hastily concealed himself behind a tree. Would you agree that your brothers love you? Yeah. Yeah, you could say that. I pictured each of my brothers' faces and smile. They're all different in their own ways, so it can get pretty crazy sometimes, but they're also a lot of fun to be around, and I wouldn't trade a single one of them for the world.
Yurika-san.
In the distance I heard Red say my name in a pleased tone. I mean... Do you have any siblings, Prince?
いないけど似たような存在もいるかも。
So the Yoshi is his brother figure, that makes sense. Oh, like a sworn brother.
まあ近いかもね。
Just some guy. I was just guessing, but it turned out I wasn't too far off the mark. Fun fact, sworn brothers is when two non-related guys make a pact to treat each other like real brothers. Not just in a what's up my brother sort of way. Supposedly it's a lot more serious than that, like a blood oath. He lowered his book and looked into my eyes. What's wrong?
君と似ている人が知り合いにいる。
Oh? How so?
君みたいに無神経で無遠慮でおせっかいなところがそっくりだ。
Ow! What's up my brother? That didn't feel like a compliment. Sounds like that friendly, optimistic, assertive sort of
そう
person.
いうところは似てないけどね。
Don't be rude. Now it really didn't feel like a compliment. For the record, is this a woman we're talking about? I asked casually, keeping my emotions on a wraps.
彼とは
Ah no, he's talking about Ryoshi.
夜の湖で
Wait,
会
but
話をしていたんだ。
wasn't Ryoshi the brother figure in his life? Oh, so it's a guy. The word him set my mind at ease. Clearly I had the wrong
い
idea.
つも美味しくもなさそうにタバコを吸っていた。
Ew.
タバコは嫌い？
Not at all. My dad and brother both smoke. And I yell at them whenever they try to do it around me. Wait, what? But even as I said it, something felt off. When I referred to my brother just now, which one was I talking about? I couldn't remember. The fuck? This is what I mean! Why is Ryoshi not our brother this time around? Something's off.
体に毒だから。
Hi! I pushed a strange discomfort to the back of my mind. No point in worrying about it, right? If your friend ever wants to quit smoking, tell them to suck a lollipop instead.
おね。
Yeah, that way it'll almost feel like a cigarette.
確かに。
Does it though? But I gotta say, I don't know why anyone would smoke if they didn't enjoy it. Your friend sounds weird. And as he smiled slightly.
変わってるよ。
Oh my god, he smiled! He's so adorable! I need to take another screenshot.
変な顔。
Oh!
君は彼とはあまり似ていないんだね。
What? But you just said he reminds you of me.
容姿のことだよ。
Physically?
似てるけど似てない。
Physically? Oh, I get it. Or so I claimed, but truth be told, I didn't quite understand. So that guy was a total stranger. Chances were high we wouldn't look alike. So what did Snow White mean by similar but different? Well... He sat up then, slowly rose to his feet. All done. He offered me his hand, which I accepted. As I rose to my feet, his collar came into view. Hey Prince, your ribbon's untied. He looked down at his chest. Oh, you're right. Oh, sorry. That was his voice line, not mine. I reached out to tie, but he grabbed it before I could. He stood there, ribbon in hand, frowning. Does he...
どうやって
New time! Rip time! Hiya! Mama!
How are you? Good evening! Listen, see, I can stream again. The internet is still not working. Except for me and my Ethernet cable. Fully new, isn't it? I do! Finally! Call it. Oh, it's easy. First you tie the two pieces in a half knot. Next you make a loop with each end. Then you make another half knot with the two loops and voila. I don't know. I untied my own collar ribbon to demonstrate. But he simply frowned, puzzled. Want me to do it for you?
Another Pikachu. Okay. ベタッベガベガベタッ
いい。
で頑張って Every time I try to do something and I don't immediately succeed, I also tell myself to
頑張って頑張ってね頑張って You can do it.
At my prompting, he made another attempt. Alas, it didn't go well and the ribbon slipped out of his hand. You know, I wasn't expecting you to be so clumsy with your hands.
悪い？
He pouted his lips sulkily. It was so adorable I couldn't help but giggle. Do you usually have someone else tie it for you?
お母様が。
Gotcha. Then he fell silent, confused. I tilted my head. What's wrong?
一人でリボン結びもできないような。
Well, it's
ダメなやつだと思った。
You could make an effort. Do you think Snow White is a loser? I have to say yes! Why? Hold on. What? Yeah, kinda. I answered honestly. You need to be able to tie a knot. You never know when it'll come in handy. I wagged my finger at him. But it's admirable that you're trying your best regardless. I shot him a wink. He blinked back at me in surprise.
素敵。
Am I a loser? Yeah. So let's see you give it another try. Ganbatte. On cue, Snow White grabbed his ribbon. First you start with a half knot. Yeah, just like that. There you go. As I watched, I instructed him step by step. Next, make a loop with each... As he tried to make the loops, the ribbon fell from his fingers. Evidently, he was a lot more clumsy than his delicate appearance would otherwise suggest. Don't give up. If you keep trying, you get the hang of it eventually. I gave him a thumbs up.
やってみる。
頑張って
That's the spirit. Unfortunately. Oh, he's getting angry now.
あ
Motivation didn't always translate into results. He shot me an accusatory look like, hey, what gives? You said I get the hang of it. Well, it can be hard to see your own neck. Then I had an idea. Why don't you practice with my ribbon first? I untied my sleeve ribbon and held it up for him. Maybe he needed to be able to see what he was doing with his hands in order to learn the ropes.
うまくできるか。
Then we just try it
わからな
again.
いよ。
I believe in you, Prince. He took the ribbon in his hands and started to tie it per my instructions. That's the ticket. First make a loop with one end, then make another loop with the other end. Then you loop them together in a half knot. One end goes through the hole.
くるっと。あ
As with the old skills, it would take a lot of perseverance to learn. もう一度! I needed to be firm. I couldn't let myself coddle him. As for what happened from there, well...
できた。
He did it! おめでとう! And it only took him 18 tries. Hooray! Woo! Good job!
けど。
Oh, it's going sideways.
はあ、やっぱり。
Well, I'm not one to talk. I cannot tie, what's it called? Not a ribbon. I can tie a ribbon, but I cannot tie, a tie. I cannot tie a tie. Jesus Christ. You get better as you practice. I giggled and he frowned at me. Oh, sorry. I'm just really happy, that's all.
嬉しい。
Because I was your first. Yeah. Not in a weird way or anything. I hastily added a disclaimer.
わかってるよ。
Okay, now it's time to tie yours. あ
もう時間だ。
Oh? Huh? But what about your ribbon?
家で練習するよ。
Hey, wait. But he turned on his heel and swiftly strode away. Darn. I held my crooked ribbon aloft under the moonlight. I didn't care if it looked goofy. To me, it was the best gift of all. Gift. Now then, I guess it's time we headed home ourselves. Red. But my brother had already passed out from a nosebleed. Wait, what? My good dude, you need that blood in your body, not outside of your body. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me what I want to see, tell me what I want to hear. I took my collar ribbon and moved my fingers just as she had instructed me. But it's not working out. But no matter how many times I tried, it never worked. Finally, I was so sick of trying that I flopped down on my bed. Staring up at the empty ceiling, I thought of her. Honestly, I should have just asked her to tie it for me right from the start. It would have been faster that way, and the end result would have looked nicer. The old me probably would have asked her in a heartbeat without even thinking about it. But instead I gripped the ribbon and tried to do something I'd never done before. Why? Because she wasn't my mother. She was a stranger and I couldn't expect her to love me the same way my mother did. That's not... As I set up, my ribbon hung limply from my neck. I pinched it between my fingers. What an eyesore. Anyone could tie a bow, it was easy. But until now I'd never even tried. All this time I'd never felt the need to do so. This reminds me, one time when I was like... How old are you when you get full... I am 10 maybe. 10 maybe, I was tying my shoes and this, like my mom was talking to another mom and her kid. And this little guy goes, you tie your own shoes? I'm like, yes. Why would I not tie my own shoes? And then the mom goes, oh yeah, he doesn't know how to tie his shoes.
Yeah, because it's a girl's thing.
And I'm like, you don't know how to tie your shoes? Because it's a girl's thing? You are 10 years old. So that was interesting. Like the mom looked at him like, what? So that's still stuck in my head years later. I don't know. I repeated her words like an incantation as I once again attempted to tie a bow. She wasn't my mother. She was a stranger, and that meant we could be equals if I tried. She didn't abandon me, nor did she step in and do it for me. Instead, she trusted me enough to let me handle it. She believed I could do it, and I needed to prove her right. Step by step, slowly and carefully, I followed her instructions. I did it once, surely I could do it again. Eventually. Yay! It ended up sideways again, but it was still a bow. A sense of accomplishment filled my chest. I had taken my first step, and now I was one step closer to being on equal ground with her. Just then I heard the door open. Tying my bow. My mother had come home. I raced over to her uncharacteristically excited. I was so proud to have tied it myself I wanted to show it off. However... Oh. She untied the ribbon and retied it more neatly. Damn, I don't like the mother. Prince, the ideal man that any woman would want. Every time I heard that word, a dark shadow fell over my heart. The prince rides up out of nowhere on a white horse, finds the lost princess and rescues her, but that was all a fantasy. As soon as we got home, we ran straight into Cinderella. I'm home, Cinderella.
ただいま帰りました。
おかえり。毎日毎日こんな寒い夜によくやるな。お湯を沸かしといたから、寝る前に何か飲めよ。
Thanks. I could always count on Cinderella to be considerate. Kicking off my shoes, I headed to the kitchen.
おい、リボンが曲がってるぞ。
I said past he pointed to my sleeve. It's fine. I spun away from him, shielding my wrist. Normally I let him fix it for me, but this bow was my prince's first ever successful attempt and it was special to me. Smiling, I ignored Cinderella squinting at me dubiously and went into the kitchen. She's so happy. I wonder how this route is going to fuck up their happiness. Because so far it all seems very much fun. The next day, When I arrived at the lake, I noticed that my prince's collar ribbon was tied in a perfect bow. Delighted, I beamed at him. Prince, your ribbon!
母様に
Oh.
結んでもらった。
He interrupted me swiftly. Oh, okay. Whoosh. You could practically hear my excitement fizzle out. Sure, I was a little disappointed, but that wasn't important. I quietly sat down next to him. There was an uncomfortable silence. Not only had I lost my opportunity to start a conversation, but I was out of topics too. That said, I couldn't simply endure the silence either, but before I could think of something to say...
君はそのままだね。
Yeah! His gaze was fixed on my sleeve. Of course I did. It was your first... Hey! He promptly untied it without warning. As with the book drawing incident, he was completely unpredictable, which made it impossible to keep my guard up. What'd you do that for? I was saving that!
黙って。
Oh, is he going to tie it
動か
again?
ないで。
At his command, I froze like a statue. Meanwhile, he started to twist the ribbon around. Wait, is he...
できたよ。
Wow, it's perfect! Just like that, the crooked bow was now replaced with a much neater
あ
version.
の後練習したんだよ。
Oh,
そうしたらできるようになった。
but why can he suddenly do it perfectly? No kidding, that's incredible! As I bubbled excitedly, he turned away.
別にすごくないよ。リボン結びなんて。
But you couldn't before, so it's good. But it's so flawless, even I can tie a bow this perfectly. I held my sleeve up and admired it from every angle. Oh, but I really like the crooked one too. What a shame.
あんなブサイクなリボンのどこがいいの？
It's unique. Besides, it was a gift from you, so of course I love it.
別にあげたわけじゃないし。
Sure it does. You did something for me that made me happy. Thank you, friends. In response. Cool. Cool. He says. Cool, it says in the subtitles. Okay. He smiled bashfully. It was such a wonderful smile, it captivated me instantly. I could feel my cheeks burning. I hastily sat down on my lap, hoping to hide my
どう
face.
したの？
Nothing. That was careless of me. My prince hardly ever made eye contact, nor did he outwardly emote much at all. Thus I never imagined he would smile at me like
君
that.
はくるくると表情が変わるね。
Yeah, unlike you? Yeah, I get that a lot. I just wish you weren't so quick to notice.
ねえ、なんで俺のことを王子って言うの？
Because you're really pretty. Huh?
ずっと気になってた。君は初めて会った時から
But I don't think he's
俺の
going
こ
to
と
like
を
hearing
王
that.
子と呼ぶけど
Now you ask me?
悪い？
Not really, no. His sulky response made me laugh in spite of myself. He could be so charming when he let his feelings show. I was half tempted to tell him how adorable he was. He seemed to sense this, however, because he scolded and shifted his gaze to the lake. I changed sitting positions and followed suit. The water was too choppy to reflect anything. Instead, its inky depths seemed to swallow us up. You want to know why I call you Prince? Because that's what you are.
意味がわからない。
If I tell you the real reason, can you promise you won't be weirded out?
多分引くだろうね。
Yeah, probably. Most people would find the nickname really bizarre. A long time ago, my brother told me a
どんな話？
story of a boy who was as white as snow and just as icy, but that scene was with Ryoshi.
何それ？正そう。
On the outside, he was super aloof with a foul mouth and a fickle, hostile
やっ
attitude.
ぱり性格に悪いね。
But deep down, he was warm-hearted.
意味がわからない。矛盾してる。
Well, maybe he concealed his true self, or maybe he let it show a bit too much.
それでその話の続きは？
The boy would visit the lake every night. His physical appearance was pure and beautiful and fragile, like a snowflake. My brother was worried he might disappear forever, so he started visiting the lake too, and they got to talking. The boy never talked about himself, but he was willing to listen. In fact, it only took a few words for him to realize my brother's true intentions. For, you see, he was possessed of keen insight. But he never tried to rub it in anyone's face. He spoke bluntly, yes, but he wasn't cold-hearted. And there you have it. Fun story, huh? For some reason, he looked at me sadly.
正直よくわからない。真実を突きつけないからといって 冷たい人間じゃないってどうして思うの？真実を話さないのはただ面倒だからって理由かもしれないのに。
Well, kindness is subjective, so it's only natural that the giver and receiver might each interpret it differently. But as far as my brother and I are concerned, we both feel the boy was a good person deep down. And as he let out a long sigh.
とりあえずわかった。君はその男の子と俺を
So one of these lives
重ね合わせてる
has to be fake, right? I'm guessing it's a life with her brothers. Something is wrong. その通り. I shot him the thing again. I mean, a prince as white as snow. One look at you and I was sure you were him. Makes sense now?
一応でもそれって俺が彼と
Well,
似て
that's
るから
not true. We were initially interested in you, yes, but that's not why we're friends with you. Honestly, even if my brother hadn't told me that story, I'm sure I still would have seen you as a prince.
根拠は
Well, because because I love you. He looked at me for a minute and sighed.
わからないな。
He glosses over the love confession and is still just like, okay, so why am I a prince though? Yeah, because
お姫様だから
am I? He beat me to the punch. That said, technically I was going to say because I'm a girl. Any girl would yearn to be a princess after all. They longed for a handsome prince to come find them, to rescue them. Even I had bought into that fantasy. His amethyst eyes turned back to me. My heart skipped a beat. His rosy red lips stood out against his snowy skin as he began to speak.
君を初めて見た瞬間、お姫様みたいだな。
So aren't we the same then?
君の瞳、青と赤が
Listen, I will accept that her eyes are blue, but not red. Like that's pink. If anything, it's pink, but definitely not red. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me what I want to see, tell me what I want to hear. That day found me more irritable than usual, and the reason was extremely obvious. It was all her fault. Porcelain skin, a pure white dress, soft, thick, light brown hair, and those glittering two-toned eyes. She was so beautiful I often wondered if maybe I was dreaming. She was like a fairy tale princess. But after talking to her I realized her princess qualities were only skin deep. She was far more aggressive than her dainty appearance suggested, and a far cry from ladylike if I was being honest. She had a few cute mannerisms, but she had no air of elegance about her, and her speech patterns were electric. For someone like me who had always dreamed of finding my princess, I couldn't help but think she'd be perfect if she kept her mouth shut. Excuse me! But obviously she was under no obligation to meet my arbitrary standards, so I didn't hold it against her. While I was surprised to discover what sort of personality she had, I still enjoyed watching her eyes dart to and fro, almost like I was looking through a kaleidoscope. And yet...
漁師のせいだ。
ああ？なんだよ、やぶから棒に。
褒めたらもっとおかしく初めて見た瞬間、お姫様みたいだと思った。君の瞳がとても綺麗だと言ったら顔を真っ赤にさせてよくわからないことを口走ってた。可愛いねって言った時は
At the time, she seemed to turn into a ditz, for lack of a better word. Sure, she made silly comments all the time, but normally I could tell that she was intentionally playing the fool. Ryoshi's only response was to roll his eyes at me, but I didn't understand why.
何?
He pressed a hand to his mouth. Oh, are you laughing? I felt like he was laughing at me, so I kicked his unguarded chin.
彼女に王子様だと言われてる。なんでって聞いたら、雪みたいに白くて冷たい王子様の話を。王子様はとっても綺麗な姿をしていて、華奢で
Sound familiar?
白い雪を思わせる儚さで、言葉や態度はそっけないけど、
Does that sound in any way familiar?
真実を見抜く。
まるでどこかの誰かみたいだな。
Her innocent smile came to mind. She called me Prince, even though I didn't deserve it.
不満か？
彼女は俺のことを美化してる。みんな存在しない王子様を。
Well, you don't. Well, no, that's not true.
俺は
Yurika never said she wanted him to be a perfect prince. And I didn't want them to get mad at me for not being what they wanted. Oh. So you're going to fit into the mold of the perfect prince? The next morning I was making breakfast for everyone as usual. I was making omelets and a frying pan was full of sizzling eggs, but for some reason my mind was all fuzzy and my body was lethargic. Last night.
君の瞳、青と赤が混じって。
What? Who are you talking to? His compliment caught me completely off guard and I started to panic.
君が
In contrast, my prince remained perfectly composed. Huh? Who's that? Looking back, I acted like such a blathering idiot, but at the time, I swear to you, I just couldn't handle it. He narrowed his eyes at me in annoyance, then after a moment of thought, he continued.
アリスが可愛い。
Oh. I don't really remember what happened after that. Suddenly I was at my house again. 1 minute I was changing into my pajamas, and then I was in bed, and then I woke up. It was all so fuzzy, none of it felt real. Was it all just a dream? Or was I still dreaming now?
おい
Huh.
おいゆりか
Uh-oh, the eggs. Ouch! Out of nowhere, I felt someone smack me upside the head.
何ぼーっとしてんだゆりか
Huh? Hearing my name, I blinked.
焦げてるぞ
Cinderella pointed to the frying pan. That's when I realized that my eggs were burnt black. No! I hastily carried the frying pan to the sink and extinguished the fire. Great, now I've done it. Thanks to my careless mistake, our breakfast was ruined. I'm sorry, I'll remake it and I'll toss this out later. As I spoke, I dumped the burnt remains onto a separate plate.
無理すんな体壊すぞ
Egg time.
He snagged a piece of burnt omelette and popped it into his mouth. Well, don't eat it then!
あず
Grimacing, he handed the plate to Kaguya next to him.
せやで。
Why are you all eating it?
まあ、おこげはたまに食べるとうまいしな。
Don't eat it. Struggling to maintain a smile, Kaguya ate a piece as well. Then he passed the plate to Red Riding Hood. He must have found it truly abhorrent because he clutched his mouth and passed the plate to Gretel in total silence. And as for Gretel, our resident gourmand, he dumped the whole plate in the trash without taking a single bite.
お前な
焦げた風味が許せるのはカラメルくらいなもんです
He had a salient point.
それにしても珍しいですね姉さんが失敗するだなんて
Oh.
も
Ah, yeah, probably. As I folded, Cinderella gave me a funny
ゆり
look.
かすっげえ変だけど
No,
大丈夫か
don't be rude. Yeah, I'm okay. As I spoke, I retrieved some new eggs from the fridge. But they slipped out of my hands, fell to the floor, and shed. Why? I'm sorry. I apologized in a tiny voice as I screwed up yet again. When I noticed the odd silence, I looked up to find them all staring at me in horror.
怖い
姉さんがご乱心
It's just some eggs!
ひーさん大丈夫？お腹痛いん？
Oh, guys, I'm still human, you know? No, I'm fine. I decided to clarify things before they started thinking something was actually wrong with me. Unfortunately, at times like this, my brothers could be weirdly nice.
無理すんな上で休んでこいよ後のことは
Yeah, get a break.
俺たちがやっとくから
Get that break.
なんなら僕がベッドに運んであげます
I really doubt you can.
じゃあ僕、おかゆでも作ったろか。
Like so. No, it's okay. I'm fit as a fiddle. A fiddle on steroids. Just trying to go over here. I jumped to my feet and swung my arms around to flaunt my excess energy. And a split second later, I accidentally smacked the bowl on the counter, sending it flying to the floor with a clang. Aha!
大丈夫じゃないみたいだな
Yeah. No. Slapping my shoulders, I admitted defeat.
赤ずきん こいつに何があったか知ってるか？
それは
I shot him a look that said, "Don't you dare tell them." If they found out I was all out of whack because my Prince Charming called me beautiful, they'd never let me live it down. Then for some reason Red's expression stiffened.
いえ、私は何も。
He averted his eyes.
ひいさん、顔怖い。
あ、本当だ。
Kagi and Gretel were both staring at me in alarm, so I quickly lowered my gaze to the floor.
ま、今日は喫茶店の方はいい
Yay!
ですね。
We get a day off. We get a day off.
Cinderella sighed. What? But I tried to protest, but he cut me
そ
off.
んな状態でまともな仕事でき
True
る
though.
のかよ。
He gave me a stern look. Sure I am. I clapped my hands to my cheeks to hype myself up. My brothers all exchanged a glance.
休んだらええやん。ひいさんは働きすぎやで。
Man, I wish I had a day off.
そうですよ。人をこき使うことにかけては天才的なシンデレラ兄さんがこんなこと言うなんて
まあ、そうですね。
Hmm.
あなたは一旦落ち着いた方がいい。
I mean, I'll take the chance. None of them were on my side.
だそうだ。どうする？
Okay, fine. I guess I'll take you up on it. And so I found myself with an unexpected day off. Which gives me a very good place
ねえ見て、かわいい。
to stop for tonight, actually. Ha 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 ha. Because I have no clue how much more we will have here. Oh yeah, the achievements for this game actually unlock. Nice. Not like the others. But we're going to take this chance to take a break right here.
Because it's almost 11 p.m. in my time zone, which means time for me to go to sleep. Haha.
But before I let you all go, I will find someone we can raid. Oh, there's lots of people alive. We will find someone to raid. Blue is live with Genshin. That sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah. That sounds like a very good idea. Hehe.
But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much everyone who came, especially everyone who came through the raids. Hi, once again. I don't know if I said it before, but I'm new. I play lots of visual novels and RPGs. Visual novels because I love them, RPGs because I have too many. I have amassed too many over the years. So I hope you had a fun time. I'm going to be streaming again on Friday, and we're going to get started on the new, well, it's not new, but the translation is new, of Great Ace Attorney. Because I want to know what everyone is so hyped about. I need to know. I need to know what everyone is so hyped about. Let me just quickly give you the raid message and set us up for the raid. And then I'm going to switch this real quickly and give you the ending song. There we go. Thank you so much for coming tonight, everyone. I wish you all a very good night. See you soon. Bye bye.
I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at his head. Oh my god! Hi, Zew! Welcome, honey! Hi! Welcome, welcome! Hi! Ray Demon, thank you so much for following! Welcome to the Cat Cafe! Ray's music is so familiar. It's something, I can't remember what it was. How was your stream, Neil? I'm good! I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. You're playing Taisho X Alice, episode 3. I think I saw you playing that. How was it? Was it good? Did you have fun? For you who don't know me, my name is Blue. I am a cat boy from space very, very badly. That is me, thank you. That is all me. Harold is from Highbringer. He's probably killed thousands on the battlefield. That's why he's got a twinkle in his eye. She was great. We'll start it on the 3rd. Oh yeah, because I see it's episode 3. Nice, my dude. The jungling. Oh, I will talk to him. I will do whatever he wants me to do. Also, Blue, your new model, I have to say, it's cute and fluffy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Me and my artist, we worked really hard on it together. But he did most of the work. He did a very, very good job.